Hey everybody, it's the Stagler. I wanted to start the show off today with a message I got from a listener.
Okay. Via
Twitter.
DMs?
Yeah.
Or did they at you?
No, they slid into the DMs. And it's I'll just from my memory I'll just say it because it wasn't a very long message.
Okay.
But it's in regards to our last show. It said, "Why didn't you guys talk about Lola Bunny? Did you see what they did to Lola Bunny?
Wasn't that after our last...
love Lola Bunny." Was the message that I was sent. Thank you for the message, dear listener.
Didn't that happen after our show?
Did it? I don't remember.
There's no way that Lola Bunny thing is more than 2 weeks old.
I don't know how old it is. I thought of it. I'm pretty sure I remember looking at it and going, I'm not going to talk about this. And not putting it in the docket for the news. Because I was like, who wants to hear about rabbit tits? Apparently, there's high demand.
There is high demand. There's Lola Bunny and Judy Hopps.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those are the top two bunnies. And I don't know her name, but I've never seen her and Bugs Bunny in the same room, but she's super hot. Okay. I didn't want to talk. We need to draw a line somewhere where it's like stupid stuff happens on the internet like all the time, right? Are we the type of show that's going to talk about these things? Like,
yes.
So from now on, if I see something dumb, I should bring it up and be like, hey, look at this stupid thing some idiot said.
Yes.
Should I talk about this?
Isn't that what our reviews section is?
That's
hey,
true.
Look at this stupid thing.
That is true, said. But it's like, and it is movie related, but sometimes stupid stuff happens that isn't movie related. And it's like, is that something we should
Okay, well, we'll use our discretion.
Okay, we'll keep it out of discretion, but we'll go more into stupid wastes of time.
Yes.
How do you feel about Lola Bunny's redesign?
I am appalled.
Okay, so what is the redesign? What did they do?
Lola Bunny had boobies. Now she doesn't.
Did she Okay, she did, but like, does she really not? It's just she's not wearing a two-piece anymore.
I don't know. I haven't even seen the redesign. I don't know.
It really didn't look that different to me. It just looked like, because it used to be the top and the shorts, right? And she had a midriff out. And now it's just like a one-piece like jersey with shorts under it, but like goes to her waist now. As before, you saw her little bare bunny belly. And now it's not visible. So it's like, I don't know. I guess it's definitely less, sexually provocative Lola Bunny. But I don't really think her boobs are smaller. They're just less out there. And who cares?
I want to start yelling, but I don't feel like it.
No, you probably shouldn't do that. The thing is, it's just what.
Who cares?
Who cares? I don't know. Well, maybe LeBron James cares. And he's like,
he's probably
I'm only gonna be in this movie if Lola's got a D cup at least. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
sure that's what he said.
The weird thing to me is that I want to, if I remember, this is kind of an old story at this point, but I remember the story kind of being like, oh, we made her less, provocative because she's like a strong woman, which is always, you see that argument like a lot. It's like, oh, we made her less sexy because she's not an object. But it's like women can be sexy and powerful and like important, you know what I mean? It just seems weird to equate sexiness, like that's like the objectification almost. It's like, oh, you're sexy, you can't be important. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a weird double thing, and I guess there's no winning really at the end of the day.
Yeah,
because if you do make them sexy, it's like, oh, objectifying. If you don't, it's like, I don't need to be ugly to be a person. It's a weird battle, but the only Lola Bunny I will accept is if she's got 6 pairs of tits, like a real bunny. And she's got 6 bras on. And she, just dribbles and they all bounce around.
That sounds fantastic. Why don't you commission someone to animate that for
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
I need the Zack Snyder cut of Space Jam 2 or whatever they're calling it.
Sure.
That's all I'm going to say. Why did I bring up Zack Snyder? Well, on today's episode of The Stagler, we're going to be talking about all of the DCEU, DCCU,
EU.
Let's see you too. Nice to see you too.
That'd be like if I called it the MEU instead of the MCU. It's stupid.
The MEU, that would be the Marvel Extended Universe. Yeah.
Yeah, but no one says that.
Because
exactly, because it's dumb.
People say the DCU though. They say DCU, as in like Detective Comic Cinematic Universe, I guess. As they mesh it into DC, into just D.
Whatever.
Let's not get into it. That's what we're going to be talking about, the whole DCEU up into the Snyder Cut, which came out 2 days ago.
Zack Snyder's vision.
The 4-hour and 2-minute long vision of his.
And to respect that, we are going to be doing this podcast in 4:3 ratio because this is what Zack Snyder would have wanted. And it will also be 4 hours and 2 minutes long.
And you also have to watch it in a theater.
Yes.
That's the only way. But we'll get to that eventually. For right now, we'll just pop it off on our weeks. Why don't you take it away, Nick?
Okay. I did a few things. Little update on my community watch.
Sure.
I can't remember for sure. I'm either done with season 2 or I'm like almost done with season 2.
Okay.
But I just wanted to note a couple things that I liked. There's a Dungeons and Dragons episode that I found to be very entertaining. It's one of the highest rated episodes, so I'm assuming most people would know what I'm talking about. And then there's also this other episode that I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't, like, 100% work for me. It's like a stop motion episode. Like, the characters are now stop motion dolls.
Oh.
And they're all, like, in Abed's mind.
Could a depressed person make this? Like that kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, it was, like, a cool idea episode, but I don't know. It just felt kind of weird. But I did like it. And I like that they're trying, like, all this new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, all these, like, going weird places and doing these things.
Gotta respect it at the very least.
Yeah. So, but I'm still very much enjoying Community. It's very funny. And I watched 2 movies.
Okay.
One of these movies is hanging inside of this room. Right over there.
It's over
Can't
there
see it.
to our right, to your left.
The Boondock Saints. I feel bad that we have a poster of it in here and I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So I finally was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I went and I watched it and I liked it.
I'm glad. Since we have the poster, I'd be ashamed to tear it down now.
I hate this movie. I liked it. I thought it was very funny. I really enjoyed how, like, it's like Willem Dafoe. He's like trying to figure out what happened at the crime scene, and then it cuts back, and like he's kind of right, but also just happens in some sort of like ridiculous fashion with our 2 main characters. And that's just like the whole movie. It's just like that happens like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I could see how some people might think that's like kind of like silly and like repetitive, but I found it pretty entertaining like all the way through because they throw little mix-ups in there. And I actually really enjoyed Willem Dafoe's performance. I didn't even know he was in this movie, so when he showed up, I was like,
oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
And I also didn't know Norman Reedus was in this.
Okay, so what did you know?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I knew that they like said a prayer before they killed somebody.
All right. I know that the poster is really cool. Or at least I think it's a really
the
cool
poster is really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. What posters do we have up in here? We have The Day the Earth Stood Still over to our left over here.
Right here.
We have Boondock Saints. We have Some Like It Hot. We have a Dark Knight poster. We've got some just random
they're like
comic book
canvas, but they're like comic covers.
Yeah, of like Thor, Spider-Man, and Captain America. We've got the Indiana Jones trilogy in VHS on top of there.
Heck yeah.
We've got an Arrival poster that I'm staring at, but it's not hanging. It's just sitting there.
Like laying there.
Back to the Future VHS, E.T.
VHS,
yeah. And then I know there's a Joker poster in there as well, like a new Joker poster.
Oh, yeah, because when we went...
The Parasite one.
Yes.
Why isn't that one hanging?
I don't know.
You just need space for it, I guess.
And we have Marilyn.
Who's the biggest poster
you
of
can
all.
see.
You can see, you can touch. Well, we can touch. Well,
Yeah, you guys can.
Yeah. And then we have our little Funkos. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool. Anyway,
yeah.
That's our tour.
Yeah, there's the tour of the room. Maybe one of these days we'll just pick up the camera and kind of
just flop it around, yeah.
Anyway, I watched the brand new Disney movie, Raya and the Last Dragon.
I'll be real. When you said the brand new Disney movie, I was like, what is he talking about?
You haven't heard of Raya and the Last Dragon?
No, I have, but I forgot about it already.
So
did you have to pay for it?
I was about to say something about that.
Okay.
It is right now currently in Premier Access mode on Disney Plus, which is you have to have a current Disney Plus subscription, and then the only way to watch the movie is to pay $30.
Yeah.
And you can watch it.
Fair.
So I did that. Otherwise, it comes out in like June, and everyone can watch it as long as you have Disney Plus. And it was good. I don't know. There's nothing really new going on with it. Yeah. I mean, it goes without saying that the animation is like
beautiful,
incredible. And it's a cool story. Raya is pretty likable. So is the dragon. I don't even Cece.
Don't ask me.
Cece. I don't really remember the dragon's name,
Cece
but
Lemon.
Voiced by Awkwafina, who's great.
Wasn't Raya Tran something? Her last name was like Tran, I think. Isn't it the Star Wars lady?
Yeah, the voice actress.
Yeah, the voice actress,
is the Rose from Star Wars.
Kelly
because
Marie
everybody
Tran?
loved her.
Maybe is the actress's name.
I don't know.
Could be that. That sounds familiar.
But she does great. I didn't even know it was her until after. I was like, oh wow, from Star Wars. But it was nice. It was sweet. It has one of the cutest like animal sidekicks. You know, all Disney movies have like the animal sidekick. It's got one of the cutest little one of those.
I heard it had a cute baby or like a little girl as well.
Yeah, it's like a baby, but it's like sentient and can like bite and like, it like controls these monkeys.
Right. Okay. Sure. Sounds good.
But it was cool overall. It seems like, at least lately anyway, Disney has had, I don't know if I want to say like trouble, but they don't feel like making like compelling villains.
Yeah.
Or like making the villains actually like villains instead of them just being like, oh, I'm troubled, and then they like turn good at the end.
What was the last good one to you?
I'm trying to even think. Maybe like
Hans, maybe? Hans? Yeah.
Hans from Frozen.
Frozen, yeah. Maybe.
He was cool.
Yeah.
What's his face from Up?
Yeah.
He's probably the best one from like the newer generation.
Sure. At least in being villainous.
Yeah, he dies. Guys, he falls out of the sky and dies.
He was old. He probably died of old age before he hit the ground.
So yeah, I don't know. But the villain I felt was kind of weak. But I like the whole world and like the world building I thought was really interesting. The world that they live in with all the dragons and stuff. And I mean, it has an emotional kick towards the end that, it did get me. They always get me. But
is this the consensus that it's good, or are there people? Do you know anything about?
I'd say the consensus is that it's just like it's good. It's not great or like amazing. It's just like, I mean, that it's a okay movie. I do not pay $30 to see this.
Is there? Okay, yeah. The thing that turned me off about this movie is that I saw the dragon and it looked like Elsa. So I was like,
dude, that's what everyone says, and I don't see it. It's
not that it looks like Elsa, but it just looks like the face that they've been doing for a while.
And I'm an Elsa stan.
I know. It does, like, it's a dragon, and it just looks vaguely like this human face. You know what I mean? It's not that it's literally Elsa. It's just, that's the character everybody thinks of for this style. It's like, oh, it's the Elsa look. It's the eyes mostly, because Elsa doesn't have a snout. But it is. I saw it and I was like, that just seems like a weird design for this character. Maybe it's better in the movie, but in the posters and everything, I just remember being like, that looks weird to me.
The thing that caught me off guard, I wasn't caught off guard by the design, but when the dragon first appears in the movie, I was expecting... See, I didn't know that Awkwafina was voicing the dragon, so I was expecting like this like sentient dragon voice, like a dragon voice, like, I am the overseer of, like,
very obviously a girl dragon.
But I didn't know.
Okay.
I just knew it was the last dragon.
Okay.
And then it was like Awkwafina, and I was like, whoa. And I thought it might have been like weird and annoying, but I actually really liked it, and she's very funny.
Okay.
Yeah, and the action, this movie probably has the best action scenes of the Disney movies, which it should, because it's like the newest.
Better than like Homeward Bound.
What? I don't even know what that is.
Isn't that the old one with the dogs and the cat? Is that a Disney movie? Maybe it's not. But it's like, they get lost and they have to find their way home. Maybe you don't think about Homeward Bound 2. It's the one where he fights like a porcupine and loses.
I don't know. But overall, I thought it was good. Kind of feels like a video game.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't put it against it, but it just kind of like, let's do this, and let's go on this mission, and then do this, so we can collect all the things, so we can do this.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked it. Didn't really do anything crazy for me. It wasn't like super new, fresh, anything. It was just
like,
kind of classic Disney movie.
If you need to scratch that Disney itch.
Yeah, I would say watch it. Definitely likable.
Okay, cool. I'll probably skip it. Definitely not going to pay for it.
Do not, literally, this movie, do not pay $30 to see this. Just wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
In June. I did it for you. Okay?
There you go.
And that was it, basically, for me. So now it's Attack on Titan time. Kind of.
Kind of. Well, yeah, there's only been one episode.
Because crazy thing happened. Last Sunday, the new episode is airing in Japan.
Yeah.
It's airing. It's like 18 minutes in. So the episode's literally almost over. And then there's a freaking earthquake.
Like bad one, huh?
No, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
I think it was only like a 4 something.
It's worse than I've ever
Or a
experienced.
3 or something. Well, yeah. But anyway, it interrupted the broadcast. And then, so it cut the episode short. And then they said not to like give it out to the third party people like Hulu and like whatever. So that people in America could see it. That's cool. So it turns out they're just going to release 2 episodes this Sunday, tomorrow. So, you know what? Sign me up. I'm down to watch 2 episodes tomorrow instead of 1.
That's how I do it. So I've always done it. So it's like nothing's changed over here.
Except you only had 1.
Except I did only have 1.
For this time.
That did change.
Which, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Okay. Is Nicolo still a cute guy? Is, you know, a nice...
Nicolo, he just wants to make food, man.
Right, he just wants to make food out of little girls.
He definitely definitely doesn't want to murder anybody, okay?
Yeah. He's, I mean, you know, he's in his rights to be a little bit upset about Gabby and Sasha.
Gabby is like, I just love how poor Falco, because Gabby's like, he's like, did you kill anyone? And she's like, oh yeah, I totally killed someone.
Dude, it was sweet. You should have been there. Like, I literally jumped to the air. Okay, 360. All right, no scope this bitch. Like, seriously, like.
And Falco's like, yo, Gabby, stop. Like she doesn't realize.
And he's like, I was my kill streak. I got the tactical nuke. Like, dude, you don't even understand. And he's just like, it was you. He's very upset. He grabs a wine bottle and he
goes to smack her, but Falco, the king, pushes Gabby out of the way and takes the hit.
Yeah, the
hard hit.
Yeah, he's out cold.
He's cold. His blood and wine running down a little bit gets into his mouth.
Oh, it's like Nicolo's really. It's like, hey, he's not of age yet. Okay, he can't be drinking that. They're like, shut up. And he's like, no, wait. It's actually spinal fluid.
Ooh, what'd you think about that review?
How much spinal fluid does he have?
See, I don't know. That's one thing I thought of. Was like maybe it's just like 1 drop in like each thing. I don't know how much it takes.
The Beast Titan's spinal fluid?
It's Zeke's.
I know, but like
yes,
because the Beast Titan probably have more.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I don't know how it works. I don't know how spinal fluid works.
Me neither. I thought
do you, like get more. Like, is it like replenishable? Like, if you took half my spinal fluid right now, will it like just build up back over time?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, so but it's been spread throughout the military.
The MPs. Yeah. So and they knew about it. Like all the Jaegerists were totally in on the plan and your favorite character shows up near the end of the episode and takes everybody hostage.
Flock.
You love Flock. We all know.
Comes in, he goes,
yeah, it's a very
use your inside voices, please.
Yeah, damn, I wish he died on that roof way back when, or in the rock
stampede,
cascade,
the suicide charge. If he just would have got hit with a rock, come on. I mean, he got everybody except for him. And then our boy Eren Yeager makes surprise appearance into the room with Armin and Mikasa and Gabby. Shows up. He says, I brought the chicky nuggies. You guys want to eat?
No, he brought the ketchup. He's like, where are the
chicken
nuggies?
I got the ketchup. Where's the chicken
But he's like, I want to talk to you guys. And that's where the episode ends. I will be real. This is the reason why I usually watch in 2s, because I would have watched the next one immediately and been like, okay. You know?
Yes, but now
so this was painful for me. But yeah, what's up? He only wants to talk to them too, for obvious reasons. Is he? Well, no, I'm not even gonna talk to you. You know everything. Why should I even bother?
I know what happens.
Why should I even bother saying anything? My guess is he's gonna say, the Aaron you know is my twin brother.
Yeah? Is that what he's going to say?
Yeah, and he's going to be like, I'm actually Aaron, Aaron Yeager.
Aaron Yogurt.
No, they're brothers. They have to have the same name. I don't know. They were going to talk about whatever, and it's going to be fun.
It is.
Connie's around. He's pouring water into Falco's
Connie's
mouth.
vibing. They're trying to wash his mouth out, but Nicholas says it's probably too late.
I doubt it. That's my prediction. I doubt that it's too late for Falco. At least, like, the end. Maybe he'll be, like, paralyzed or something, but it's not just going to be like, oh, he's dead. Bye. I don't see that happening, really, but who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
Except for me, who does know.
You do know. And Akira, whatever his name is.
Akira?
The creator.
Hajime Isayama. Put some respect on
Well, I was
Yams.
thinking of Akira Toriyama.
People call him Yams.
Ugh. Does he like that?
I don't know.
I think he's why he's going to make the ending the way it's going to be.
That's why he's
getting you back for all these stupid nicknames.
He's like, you guys call me Yams. I will kill everyone.
You like Sasha, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll show you a sweet potato.
Yeah. Classic. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that the next episode, which would have aired last Sunday, but it's going to air tomorrow, is going to be fire.
Bombastic, even. I heard it's going to be 4 hours and 2 minutes long.
Like this podcast and like something else that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's only 3 episodes left. 2 of them come out tomorrow. And then next Sunday is the very last episode of the final season, part 1.
Right.
It'll be part 1. I'm almost for sure now that they'll do a part 2.
You know it's longer than 4 hours and 2 minutes?
No.
Season 2 of The Sopranos.
Oh.
Much longer.
Indeed.
Than 4 hours and 2 minutes. It's like
13 hours.
13 hours. Well, it's probably like 12 after you shave off.
I guess a little bit. 12 hours.
So we watched all of season 2. Season 2 introduces Richie and unintroduces Richie. Which, thank God. I hated Richie.
He was terrible. He was
so
just
bad.
like annoying.
He was annoying. He was always confronting Tony about his authority. You know, he was trying to convince June to, you know, get back on top and everything. He's just a little twerp. He's just a little runt, you know? And how fitting that it's not Tony that takes him out. You know, it's not anybody in the biz. It's somebody.
He calls up Janice from Mr. Robot and is like, I need you to handle this.
Well, no.
Calls up the Dark Army.
That's very confusing. Janice, after being punched in the face by him, and he's just saying, like, mind your own business.
Janice also introduced in this season.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Both two characters introduced.
Tony's sister, Parvati. Right. Name
Yeah.
change.
He's like, oh, you're going to punch me in the face and tell me to mind my own business? Okay, I'm going to punch you in the face with a gun, a bullet even, from a gun.
Bam, bam.
And it's obviously a very quick moment. I didn't see it coming.
No. I was just chilling. I was like, dang, he really just punched her in the face. And she comes back and she's like, pow, pow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I was like, okay, she's not putting up with any of it. Right? But, you know, she's obviously got connections. She calls Tony over and they take care of it. They clean it up. Right?
They clean it up all right.
They do. Yeah, that meat shop, man. Very gross. Chris, what a nice guy. And he got a promotion out of it. Well, no, he didn't get a promotion out of that. He got a promotion out of pussy.
Yeah.
Because Big Puss, as we knew, there's a lot of dramatic irony happening this season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's revealed that, you know, he's a snitch.
He's an informant.
He's an informant, and he's trying to wear a wire. He's trying to get Tony to say some incriminating stuff, you know. He's just trying to take everybody down. He wants freedom. You know, he wants to get out of the game. He's tired of it. He thinks Tony's like a bad leader. He's like, people don't work together the way they used to. He's disillusioned. And he has been since like the start of the show.
Yeah.
By his own account. So he was a snitch even way back in season 1 when they were trying to find one. They just had 2. Which ain't great.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it? So, obviously that's very dramatic, and they go to parties. He's having a very tough time of it sometimes. Like, some days he's like, I love him. Other days he's like, I could kill him, you know? But he goes so far as helping him take care of one knucklehead who shoots Chris in the stomach.
Oh, my gosh. Did my heart drop when that happened? My favorite character about to get wiped out in the middle of the second season?
Right. Because of, well, not because of Richie, but sort of because of Richie, because they thought Richie wanted it.
Yeah.
The two guys.
Are you fucking stupid?
The two doofuses who are just...
They're
so they want to climb the ranks so quickly
that
they're like, oh, so we should just kill somebody at the top and then we'll get promoted. It's like, wow,
great idea.
Great thinking, guys. I actually liked them, though, just because they were so stupid.
I mean, they were kind of funny.
It's kind of funny just being like, what are they going to do next?
I thought they were funny until they shot
him, and then I was like, death.
I was like, that's my boy.
It's kind of an interesting thing, though, because I was thinking of how sucked in I was into the world that I was like, if I knew Chris in real life, I might be like, yeah, death. Like, for real.
Death is the sentence.
Because they just walk up to him. They were reporting to him originally. And they're like, oh, hey, Chris. And he's like, oh, hey, guys. And like, pop, pop, pop. Yeah. And they do a really bad job. Because one of them gets killed at the shooting. The other one runs off.
Yeah.
Chris is...
I mean, they probably shot like 30 times, and he only got hit like 4.
Yeah. And he makes it through. His spleen gets obliterated. But
freaking dies for a whole minute.
He dies for a whole minute. He goes to hell, and he sees some people that Paulie killed, I think. He leaves a message for him.
I went to hell.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Gabagool.
Yeah. That was big for me because I did say that he was my favorite character.
I know. I noticed. I thought of you.
I'm glad to see him still alive.
Yeah. Let's hope he makes it through the whole show. Fingers crossed.
Oh my gosh.
We also have Milfy, really struggling with her. What's going on with her? What's up? What do you think's happening?
She's having trouble.
Is it what it? But like, you know, she's going to the therapist. She has been, but you know, she's describing why she still wants to see Tony. She feels like she abandoned him. It's her responsibility. But is that really what's going on? Is that really the root of it, or is it, you know, is she in?
She likes him.
Does she like him, or is she just want the excitement? Is she bored with her life and she just needs, he brings that excitement of, you know, and that mystery that's what she's clinging to, you know? What is she lacking that he gives her, you know? And it could be any of those things. It's a very unhealthy relationship, I would say. Yes. I would say she's definitely in the wrong for continuing to treat him because they don't really even accomplish that much this season. No, they therapeutically
speak, and then Tony's like, go fuck yourself, and then he leaves.
And then he's like, I fucked you on that desk in a dream. And she's like, wow, okay, just saying that? He's like, yeah. Yeah. She's got a little aluminum ball. I have one of those.
A little aluminum ball?
Yeah, it's whatever. It's in the background. And I was like, hey, I have that.
Oh, right.
On my books.
Carmela really comes into her own this season.
She goes for it.
We see the darker side of Carmela this season, that she can be a manipulative bitch.
That's far. A little bit far, I think.
No, I actually like her.
I do like Carmela, yeah.
But you can see that if she wants to, that she can get what she wants.
Well, that's kind of a running theme with like all the women across the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a lot of them are a lot more active in things that are going on than it might appear at face value, you know? And that kind of goes in with kind of a funny irony, I guess. I don't know if it's irony. I don't know what it would be. When he goes to Italy and it's being run by a woman, is the person that he talks to at the top, you know? And it's kind of like, he's like, oh, that would never happen. Even though women are calling, like his mom specifically called a lot of shots, you know, especially in season 1. So it's just kind of funny to see him say that when it's really not the truth back home. And my character I really like, Furio.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great. The actual Italian from Italy that they like poached, basically.
Yeah, he's great.
They brought him over. He's really cool. He had to show his worth by punching that Asian lady and like shooting that guy in the leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He handles business.
He does, and he gets the money. And that's when Milfy calls, and it's like, we should get together.
Yeah. And he's like, what?
No.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so since we just described the season backwards... We started at the end and went backwards to the beginning.
Yeah, kind of. Well, we got to the stuff that was freshest in our minds.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. Still great.
Yeah, it is. It's a very, very great show so far.
The only things that are happening is that the kids definitely felt like a lot less of a focus this season. Meadow and Anthony Jr.
Yeah, which was kind of sad for me because I actually enjoy like their family like maybe the most.
Yeah.
Other than Chris.
Chris, sure. And Adriana, his girlfriend. Yeah.
What'd you think of the whole thing with Jon Favreau?
Oh yeah, the whole Jon Favreau part. Okay, so
that was fun.
Right? Yeah. So he wants to get Chris wants to like do the screenwriting thing or wherever.
Yeah.
He goes like he ends up meeting Jon Favreau on a set and he like starts talking to him. I didn't know that. I didn't know Jon Favreau was in this show.
Yeah, no, that was like, oh, cool.
I thought it was really cool. He was a lot younger, obviously. But no, it's cool to see him. I think he's a charming, actor. And seeing him play himself is always got to be like a weird difficulty.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how much of an asshole will you let yourself be portrayed as?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real.
So they portray him as he kind of like steals this guy, like Chris's ideas.
Yeah.
It's like that's how much he was willing to go. I don't know what that says about him, if anything. It's obviously a character version of him, but it's not like that's never happened in the industry of people stealing people's ideas.
Yeah. But I can say that I haven't seen all of Jon Favreau's work, but I've never seen the story of that Chris tells in any of his work.
Me neither. I have not seen that
but
either.
It could happen in the future. You never know.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. You never know.
They could show up there.
That would be
just forget what I said.
Really something.
That's a brave new direction for Marvel if they go that route. But yeah, Chris is just being like an absolute maniac around him. He's just like has a loaded gun pointing it at his head, and he's like, "I'm just messing around."
He's like, "Oh, I'm just messing."
Jon Favreau. I thought that was actually really good. Him in that scene because he's like, "Fuck, okay." This dude. He's like, "Have you ever, He's like, "Say it." Have I ever what? It's I like that dynamic. And then he messes around with his cousin's girlfriend. Ugh. Jeez.
Dang. 2 times.
2 times, yeah. And then she's like, forget about it. It's like, okay. I was kind of mad at him because I really like Adriana.
Yeah.
And I was like, Chris, but then he marries her. So what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Now they're married.
I don't know. Let's talk about the finale in general because the whole finale is, half of the finale is like a fever dream.
I very much enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot too. We'd seen a sequence like it in season 1 before with Chris even. And he's on a boardwalk. It's a lot of like you hear the squeakiness of the boards like nonstop. That's kind of like the tell, and it's what gives Tony it's what told him, hey, pussy, all your suspicions, they're probably right.
And he's talking to the fish.
He's like, hey, these guys beside me, they're sleeping. Don't you say that, you motherfucker. And he like pushes it over. Yeah, it's I like those sequences. They do feel very dreamlike, I think,
Yeah, there's one where he's like walking, but he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is like exactly.
That
and,
is a good one.
Syl just like comes up and he just like slides in and he's like, hey.
And other times where he kind of changes location, like when he looks through the telescope and it's just totally different landscape. That's another very dreamy
captured
thing.
What dreams are like pretty good.
They do it very well. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think it's going to be something that we're going to keep seeing probably at least a few more times. It's a 7-season show.
I hope so. I like them.
Yeah, I like them.
One criticism that I do have, one thing that I just don't really like too much is how it seems like they focus on like 1 or 2 characters like really hard for like a couple episodes, and then they're just like gone for like the next like 5 episodes. Like Chris, for example, remember it's like 4 or 5 episodes in, and he's like hasn't done anything, and I was like, well, what's Chris gonna do? And then there's like 3 episodes dedicated to Chris, and then he just doesn't do anything for the rest of the season. I personally would prefer it to be more like just kind of stretched out throughout the whole season, but that's just one thing that I find kind of frustrating.
I didn't have too much of a problem with it. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bother me too much. I would like to see a cut like that. Maybe it'd be better. But it's not so much that it took away from my experience at all. I did miss the characters, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of me. It's like, there's a time for it.
It's not a huge deal. It's just small.
I think I might actually prefer characters getting their full story dedicated to them instead of trying to focus on everybody at once.
Yeah, I guess it could seem a little cluttered.
Yeah, because it just makes the arcs a little bit more clearer, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
It's just a minor thing.
It's a taste
Other than
thing.
that, you know, it's great.
All right, it's a great show. I am eager to continue the show.
Season 3.
Season 3, baby. Okay. That's it?
That was it, I think. Yeah,
No, it's not.
it. Well, yeah, except for you.
Okay, so I didn't watch... Okay, I did watch stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm saving it. But I did play a game. Might as well talk about that.
Yeah.
I played Days Gone. Do you remember what that game was?
Zombies.
It's
And motorcycles.
zombies and motorcycles. The big thing with the game, from all the trailers, whatever, like, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever, was that there are zombie hordes, and they're for real. There's, like, hundreds of zombies. That was the thing. And, yeah, there's hundreds of zombies.
It's cool.
It's honestly... That was my favorite part of the game, was just, oh, look, there's 800 zombies right there, Yeah. And in daytime, they, like, sleep in caves, so if you go in a cave, you could get bum rushed and whatever. In nighttime, they kind of travel around wherever, and you could drive and, run into them, and they block your path and everything. Very effective. And there's, like, 50 of them. 50, like, different groups of anywhere from, like, 100 to, like, almost 1,000,
Jeez, that's cool.
And it was a very... The way it's designed is nice because usually the hordes are in areas where it's like there's particular places where it's like, oh, they can't climb as fast. There'll be stuff for you to climb on so you can escape, Or there's like a gas tank truck that you can blow up and take out a lot of them, stuff like that. But sometimes there's not on the smaller ones. And you just got to deal with it, however. Easily the best, most engaging part of the game is like, wow, there's actually 1,000 zombies coming at me alone right now. Or, guiding them into, like, an enemy marauder base. And it's like, well, that solves that problem for me. But I got to deal with, whatever's left. Very, very fun. Just on that alone, they should make a second one, just so you can do that again.
Yeah.
The story? I don't know. Deacon St. John, he's, like, the main biker dude. He's a charming enough guy. He's kind of a dumbass type of character. And he, like, loves murder.
Loves it.
Not really, but it like, you see in, like, The Last of Us, it's some people still have reservations about, like, killing people. Deacon St. John, he's like, nah. You go into a marauder camp, and he's like, I can't fucking wait to cut his head off. He's like, I love it.
Nice.
and he's, like, really into it. And everyone's fine with that. They're like, yeah, it's, we got to kill everybody.
Okay.
He's cool enough. Everybody else, the characters don't really grab me very much. The game is, like, pretty long because there's, like, 5 main like camps of survivors, and I wish that the camps had more interaction with each other, but it's just like you're the only one who really interacts with each camp. So it's like, oh, you go to the hot springs, it's like they don't talk about Lost Lake, it's like they're all disconnected. Sometimes people talk about it, but it's not until the end where everybody teams up to fight the bad guy that it's like, oh, okay, now we're seeing the interaction. I would have liked a little bit more between people because they set up stuff. It's like, oh yeah, hot springs, it's kind of like once you're in, you can't leave. It's like you're stuck there. And other places like, oh, we don't believe in that. We think people should come and go as they want. But then they get shit stolen from them all the time, A little bit more on that dynamic. The world could have been a bit better. Deacon's whole thing is he's trying to find his girlfriend. And he does. So there you go. Works out for him. No, actually... you think that she's dead because he sends her off with like a helicopter, and then you find it and it's like exploded. And he's like, oh, but then it's like, oh no, they got evacuated. And he's like, oh,
nice.
Find her. It's cool. They're trying to make a cure basically. They're like, I don't think this is gonna work out. Then the military's like, let's kill everybody. They're like, no. Then you kill the military.
Yes.
And that's the end of the game. Yeah. So gameplay wise, riding the motorcycle feels really good. You can coast down hills, and you got to rev correctly to like conserve fuel because like finding fuel is a bigger deal and stuff. All that stuff is great. It's just if they gave it a second try and gave it a much punchier, well-paced story, I feel like they could have a really, really strong game on their hands. Bend Studio or whatever.
Do you think that it could be better if they like left like the single-player story-driven aspect and turned it into like maybe like a 4-player co-op, just kind of like open world thing, or no?
Maybe, but I hate those types of games.
Okay.
So I'm biased. But I could definitely see it being fun if they just made because another thing with the game is obviously since it's a story, you can't go to the end right away, so they have to block it off somewhere. So it's 3 big maps that are slightly separated. Like, oh, the only way to get through to this map is you have to go to this one road. So you're gonna see that one road, quite a few times by the end of the game. You know? So if they made it really a lot more open, that could be a lot of fun if they just decided to go more sandbox with it. And I mean, you can ignore the story a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's really easy to do that. But yeah, if you like zombies, check it out. The hordes are so cool.
Better than The Last of Us 2? Or no?
There's only there are lesbians in Days Gone, so I don't know. They're basically the same game. I don't know. There's a guy named Schizo. He sucks. He's bad.
Schizo. Hate him.
Guy. I know. Even the name, Schizo.
Yeah, with the freak.
It was okay.
Okay.
Story-wise. Gameplay was great. It was really fun. Even if you just pop it in to see the first horde, it's worth it, I think.
I might play it someday.
Someday. You have it for free.
Yes.
Well, for $600, but
yeah,
for free.
You know how it is. Okay,
well, let's wrap that up and head over to the news today. Got a bit of news for everybody. Let's start with a slew of Netflix news. How's that treat you?
Netflix is always the news.
Oh, yeah. They try to be. I mean, honestly, good for them trying to stay on top of the conversation. Netflix reveals first look at new African samurai anime from MAPPA. The studio behind Jujutsu Kaisen brings us Yasuke.
And Attack on Titan Season 4. Put some respect on MAPPA.
Okay. Yasuke is a real thing.
Yeah, it looks cool.
No, he was a real African American samurai. Yeah. I don't know anything about it. This is not going to be his actual story. It is just based on him with funny anime stuff in it. It's not. But I believe he's being voiced by Lakeith
Lakeith Stanfield?
Stanfield. Yeah. Sorry, I thought that was wrong for some reason. Lakeith Stanfield, I'm pretty sure, is voicing him.
That's cool.
It looks very cool. This is something that I have felt like people were talking about for a long time, about why hasn't anybody done a movie about Yasuke yet? Because it's African American samurai. That's a really cool idea. Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, seriously.
Even more. So it could be really, really, really cool. It'll debut on April 29th.
Oh, that's soon.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
I'll
definitely watch that.
Really, really good to me. I can't wait for that. Next, we have Netflix trying to crack down on password sharing.
What?
That's
stupid.
They're trying. It's unclear if their intentions are people actually stealing other people's accounts, or you don't live in the same house. Sorry that your dad owns the account. Buy a new account.
Yeah.
But it's probably both. They're probably just guising it at that, and they're like, we want to get that money out. But they've had press releases where they're like, yeah, share it with your friends and family. If the plan is 4 screens at the same time, 4 people at the very least should be able to have access to it no matter where they live. I don't care, because it's I don't pay for all of my streaming services. The person who likes, I don't pay for Disney Plus because I don't care about most of the stuff on Disney Plus. I just know somebody who's really into that, and they're like, oh, sure, I'll share it with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, great. I don't have to waste my money on it, So for them to crack down on Netflix like that, I mean, one, I don't know how exactly they do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure, but who knows? It would upset me if
it seems silly.
You pay for all these separate screens to be watching at the same time, but it's in the same 100 feet area of each other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That would that'd be stupid. It's dumb. No other thoughts?
No.
What about this?
That looks great.
Netflix adds a new movies under 90 minutes category. We were just talking about last episode, I think.
The power of the 90-minute
movie is just so powerful, and we'll have a whole new category. But like all good features on Netflix,
oh my gosh,
it's only available in the UK and Ireland for now.
Moving.
Why don't you just get a VPN? Today's episode sponsored.
Right? Maybe someday.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This sounds like a really cool idea. It's movies, so it won't be, every TV show just on the list. But it's something that people that they want a quick bite, you know, they can go to this, and it's because there have been a few times where I've sat down. I cannot tell you how many times I've sat down to watch The Green Mile, and then I look at the runtime, and I'm just like, not today. I can't do it today.
Yep.
Like, it's just not going to happen. So to have this where I'm like, I know where my attention span is at for right now, it's great. It's fantastic. Netflix is Cowboy Bebop Season 1. Yes. Wraps filming. Star confirms.
Danielle Pineda.
I've
never heard of her.
You can see her down here. She looks like a good fit.
Yeah, rock on.
So
cool shirt.
Yeah.
Rock on. I'm fired up.
No thoughts, no.
I'm fired up for Cowboy Bebop live action. I hope it's good. Please be good.
Yeah, they had a lot of setbacks. I think they had an actor had a injury that set them back, and then the world changed, and that also set them back, understandably. But it's still coming.
My one thing is the show has a very distinct like animation visual style that I don't think you can really reflect via live action.
Okay.
So I'd like to see how they try to tackle the visual style of the show. I
think they'll just slap the music on top of it and be like, yeah, it's close enough.
But yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what that's like.
I mean, I can tell you I don't have high hopes for this at all. I don't have like low hopes. I don't think it's, going to be like, ugh.
I just want it to be good, please.
I just want it to be either kind of good or like horrifically bad.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be like you can take it or leave it. Either be like, yeah, it's worth it if you're a fan, or so bad that you have to watch it. What's next? This is kind of a nothing story, but as we discussed earlier, Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds. I mean, yes, it is, but it's Ryan Reynolds. Like, you know what I mean? Just seems kind of weird. Finally watches Green Lantern and has some thoughts.
That's incredible news.
What do you think his thoughts are?
Next time, I won't wait a decade to watch.
Yeah, but that's not a thought. I mean, it is, but do you think he liked it? Do you think he hated it?
Well, if he said he wouldn't wait a decade, I would say he liked it because he would want to watch it soon.
Yeah, he thought it was fine. He thought it was like, yeah, there's good stuff. There's bad stuff in here, but there's good stuff. He honestly went on to say, like, a lot of the faults, like, the team behind it did a lot of good work. It's just that the movie as a whole really didn't come together, you know? Mm-hmm. So he kind of took it as a way to, one, advertise his gin and support the people on his team that, he works with. Because obviously he did the Deadpool movie and he made fun of it by shooting himself in the back of the head before taking the script, It's a very funny gag. But I can see how people who worked really hard on the film would be like, okay, come on now,
I guess.
Because it takes all of the... I felt like it took all of the, onus off of him at all. But whatever. He liked it. Some more news. Michael B. Jordan to make directorial debut with Creed 3, set for Thanksgiving 2022 release.
That's cool. Just like Rocky.
Did you see Creed 2?
I still have not seen Creed 2.
Pretty sure I haven't seen it either. I'm like 99% sure.
You're pretty sure?
Only because I remember the first one, definitely, because I liked it. And the second one, I could see myself having seen it and forget it, because I remember it had middling kind of reviews when it came out. But Creed 3, I mean, it could be good. His directorial debut,
That's
sure.
Cool.
That's cool. I love seeing actors turned directors turned sound people, whatever. Great news.
Incredible.
Actually, probably terrible news for the internet. Shrek returning to theaters for 3 nights to celebrate 20th anniversary. In honor of its 20th anniversary, Shrek will return on April 25th, 28th, and 29th, hinting at plans to revitalize interest in the franchise.
Well, what do you mean revitalize?
I know. Even literally today on Twitter, I saw people talking about the Shrek TV, the old Shrek CRT television with the antennas.
Yes.
It's like people are still ravenous for Shrek.
People be loving Shrek. I don't know why they'd say revitalize.
I would even say Shrek is love. I like Shrek.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I know somebody who doesn't like Shrek.
Doesn't like Shrek or doesn't like Shrek?
Doesn't like the movie Shrek, the first one.
So they like the second one and the third one?
I don't think they watched
one?
those, but they saw Shrek. They didn't like it, so they never.
How do you not like the first Shrek?
He is like 52.
Who cares?
So I don't know if that has to do with if it's a generational thing.
No.
He didn't like it very much.
Well, it sucks to be him because Shrek rocks.
I like Shrek. So what would you do to revitalize? Are they going to reboot? Are they going to do a Shrek origin story?
Let's get the live action Shrek going.
Well, Shrek the musical.
No, but like TV show version.
Okay.
And it's not a musical. It's just a Shrek.
Okay. But like seriously, revitalizing, what does that mean? Like, does that mean they just do one after where the kids are like grown up now?
I don't know.
Do they keep the kids babies?
What about a Shrek horror movie?
Isn't that Shrek the fourth one? I thought it was pretty horrifying. You know, like, I don't know what that means. Like, obviously they could do anything, but I'd just be interested with the babies. Do they stay babies? Mike Myers is like 90.
He could do it.
He's super old, you know. Eddie Murphy's back.
Yeah, he is.
Coming to America, so like, I'm sure maybe he'd be down. Who knows? What's Cameron Diaz doing?
She doesn't like act anymore, I don't think.
I don't think so either. Just recast, sure, whatever. King of the Hill also looking to be having a series revival, but this specifically we know would be set 15 years after the original ended. So the characters would have all been grown up, and little Bobby, he'd be a medium Bobby.
Cool.
That'd be cool. King of the Hill's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch those shows.
King of the Hill, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you how old I was, but I remember it would always come on at a certain time of night, and I'd be like, it's this stupid King of the Hill show. And like once every like couple of months as a kid, I would like watch it. And I remember being like, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. Wait. And there was one night, I don't know if it was the episode or if I just reached a certain age where I was like, wait a second. This is pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
And it totally turned me. And I've never watched the show, you know, beginning to end, but I watched it that way. It's like whatever episode was on, I was like, oh, King of the Hill, cool. And I watch it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never, like they say the finale, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not sure what the finale was. Maybe I've seen it. Who knows? A little bit more here to go. Star Wars, Ewoks TV movies, holiday special, and the Tartakovsky's Clone Wars are all coming to Disney Plus.
Great.
Hey, Tartakovsky's Clone Wars is good. It's very cool. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. The other stuff, I don't know.
Faithfully Wookiee.
The Ewok movies, I can't imagine they're great. They're not canon anymore.
What?
So maybe they're saying they are canon now. Maybe that's what the Disney Plus move
Could
is.
be.
The holiday special, I don't know. People always talk about how much they love it and how good it is and how much it adds to the world building of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because they have like Thanksgiving, but it's like Space Giving or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
And Wookiee, Chewie is like, I can't do the noise.
And then he blows up.
Can you do the noise?
I don't know. That's not it.
That's not how you do it, but it's close, I think. Right. No, that's basically it. No. Back away from the mic if you're going to do it. Okay.
No more.
Let's move on.
Boy, here we go.
3 more Game of Thrones spin-offs in the works at HBO.
Do we know what they are?
Yes. One spin-off titled 9 Voyages or Sea Snake
Sounds stupid.
has enough.
Do we know what it's about?
Yeah, it centers on Lord Corlys Velaryon, known as the Sea Snake, and head of House Velaryon, husband to Rhaenys Targaryen, on the Sea Snake vessel.
Okay, so I guess
Flea Bottom
sounds interesting.
would take place in Flea Bottom, while 10,000 Ships revolves around Princess Nymeria, who journeyed with the Ronar.
Wait, hold on. So Flea Bottom is another show?
Sounds like it.
Does it have my boy in it? Sir Davos?
I don't know.
Seaworth?
Who knows? 10,000 Ships revolves around Princess Nymeria, who journeyed with the Ronar to Dorne and married Lord Morse Martell. So, yeah. And House of Dragon is still happening. It's going to be totally separate.
Interesting.
But 3 new things, so they just really want to milk.
Interesting. I don't know if any of those ones really sound interesting to me, but I guess I have to wait to learn more.
Right, yeah. I don't know. But it seems like a lot.
I mean, I will watch House of the Dragon, so...
Okay. It just seems like 4 series out of this go from 1 to 4.
Well, they're trying to make up for everyone forgetting about Game of Thrones. And one person you know that has spoken
like
of
how
Game of
Daenerys
Thrones.
forgot about the Iron Fleet?
She kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
I know. Whatever. Sure. Maybe 1 will hit and they'll like run with it. It annoys me just how much like work is going into it.
They're trying.
Like, all you had to do was do it right
because HBO is upset.
And it's understandable why. I'd like to move on.
Okay.
To the best news we have.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Ace Ventura 3 in the works at Amazon with Sonic the Hedgehog writing team attached.
Sounds great.
Have you seen Ace Ventura?
No.
Have you seen Ace Ventura 2?
No.
Have you seen Junior Ace Ventura?
No.
Well, I'm guessing that's not canon anymore because I don't know how that would fit into this world.
Okay.
But they want to do a new... Do you even know what it's about? Ace Ventura? He's a pet detective.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so he,
Wait, hold on. That reminds me. It's like those memes, like when you're like, you say, have you seen Ace Ventura? And then I would say something like, or like, you've seen the memes where like, it would be like people playing Red Dead Redemption when the red gets redeemed. I don't know. I have never played it.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
those
people watching Ace Ventura when the Ventura gets aced.
Yeah, watching Blade Runner when he runs on the blade.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Right, yeah. Those are good. No, he's a pet detective, so he detects pets. And he's like, oh, there's a missing dolphin? Let's go find it.
Ace Ventura fans when the pet gets detected.
But that happens. The pet, he does go like, pet is there. And then he climbs out of a rhino's butthole.
Wow.
It's a good scene.
That's strong.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll happen again. I don't know how this could be good, but it's happening whether you like it or not. Well, that does it. We can move on to the meat of the show.
No, we can't.
Oh, you're right. Damn it.
One more thing.
Yeah.
The Oscar nominations came out, obviously.
They did.
Some things to note.
Well, I'd first like to say I'm happy with them.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good.
They're actually pretty good. The only things I've heard people be upset about are the foreign category films that were chosen.
See, but I've never,
But I have no skin in that.
I haven't seen them. But Mank leads with 10 noms, which seems funny because it feels like Mank has like no momentum and no one talks about it. Yeah. So it's gonna be like The Irishman, I think, and get 0. And then surprisingly, there's like 6 other movies that have 6 noms apiece. They really spread the love. Minari, Judas and the Black Messiah, Nomadland, Sound of Metal, The Father, and Trial of the Chicago 7 all have 6, and then Promising Young Woman has 5.
I hear a lot of people hate Trials of the Chicago 7 as well.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think that it is kind of like, it's the one out of all of them where it's like, really?
So if it wins, people are going to be really happy.
I don't think it wins.
I was surprised with the response Promising Young Woman got, actually.
Yeah, I don't know, because I heard people liked it, but...
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it.
I've never seen it.
Another point, but it was just the ending that I was like, eh. But yeah, continue.
Steven Yeun makes history. That's our boy.
Yeah.
First Asian American to be nominated for Best Actor. Pretty freaking amazing.
That is cool.
We love him. We love him in Burning. Watch Burning. If you like Steven Yeun in Minari, watch Burning, and you'll like him more.
I'll like him so much more.
And Riz Ahmed, the first Muslim to be nominated for Best Actor. Freaking epic.
2 for 1.
It is a twofer. And another twofer is Chloe Zhao and Emerald Fennell, both nominated for directing. The first time that 2 women have ever been nominated. And then another thing about women, 70 women were nominated this year for 76 different Academy Awards, the most ever. I don't know that number compared to men, but progress is progress.
We already said last week that it was like, what, 16% of films were made by women this year, so it makes sense that the number will continue to rise.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And then Netflix made history with 35 nominations for Netflix. Will they win? Because I remember last year they had like 20 something and they won like 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see with Netflix, but and then little thing that I found cool. One of the live action short films that was nominated stars our boy Joey Badass.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to say that.
That was another one. The Human Voice totally got nothing, and people were like, huh?
What's that?
That was Almodovar's thing with Tilda Swinton. It was his short film, and people were like, oh, that was amazing, and they were kind of surprised that it never got anywhere. I haven't seen it yet, but I still want to check it out.
I didn't know that. But yeah, our boy Joey Badass, so when we get to see the short films, we'll get to see our boy in a short film.
He's going to get that EGOT.
Yeah, he's going for the EGOT.
Yeah. Go for it, Joey Fat Ass. Have you seen that clip?
I think so. I don't remember.
That's funny.
Anyway, that's just some things wanted to note about that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yes. It is now time to talk about the DC. What does DC stand for?
Detective Comics. Or does it stand for...
Is that really what it stands for?
I believe so. I didn't name it. So.
Detective Comics Entertainment Universe.
Entertainment?
Extended.
Okay. I thought it was extended.
I don't know. Is it?
Could be both.
The universe of the DC Comics.
Yes. The movie versions.
Yes. We're going to talk about all of them.
How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, 9.
Yeah. And a few of them, like we've already talked about kind of in like later episodes, so we can be kind of shorter on those ones probably.
Yeah, we'll just feel it out how we feel about this.
But first things first, in 2013, Zack Snyder had a creative vision, and he kicked everything off with Man of Steel 2013.
Man of Steel.
Was forever ago. Do you like Man of Steel?
That's the question, isn't it? I do. I like Man of Steel. I think it's pretty good.
No.
What?
Man of Steel is bad. Okay.
No, let me take it back. I think Man of Steel isn't a great movie, but I think what it does for the characters is really good.
Okay.
Like to build, especially when you're going into a universe, the way it builds Superman and Lois Lane, even though she acts kind of weird in this movie. The way it built Superman leading up into the rest of the stuff that happens in the DCEU, I thought it was very, very effective. Because obviously he would have had some of it in mind. I liked a lot of what happened.
Okay. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's terrible. I mean, it's not near as bad as some of the other movies on this list.
And it's not worse than the worst Marvel movies. Like, this is better than Captain Marvel to me.
By far.
Yeah, like, it's way better. Okay, if we're just going to start now, a big problem with, like, all of these movies, they're too long.
Yes. We've been talking about the power of the 90-minute movie. Literally, all of these movies are 2.5 hours.
When I started Man of Steel, I remember thinking, because I had seen it probably about when it came out, and I rewatched it, and I remember thinking it was nearing the end, and I stopped it, and I was like, there's 45 minutes left. And I was like, I thought it was about to be over.
Yep. And
then the last 45 minutes, like, drag for me, But there's still really cool bits that are in there a lot, What are your main things with this movie? Actually, should we say what it is?
What?
What happens?
Oh, Man of Steel, Superman.
It's an origin story,
yeah,
sort
it's
of.
his origin.
Yeah.
Kinda.
They skip the boring parts.
Russell Crowe is like, we must put all of the information into this baby and send it away. And then they send it away and their planet blows up or something.
Yeah.
And then Zod is like, Michael... Oh my gosh. Shannon.
Yes. There you
go. Is like, we need to be evil.
Yeah, we need to get that baby and we need to choke him.
And then some random 2 people find Superman in an alien ship.
That's kind of mean.
And they're just like, oh, let's take him as our child and we'll just hide the alien ship away and we won't say anything to anybody. We'll raise him.
They're very good people.
They are good people.
That's kind of the point, is that they're really good people, So anyway, a lot of the film is like flashbacks of him growing up and learning to kind of control his powers and not be a freak.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zod coming back and being like, "Oh hey, Super Kal-El, let's destroy the world." And he's like, "No, I don't think so." And they fight. That's good enough, I think. A thing that I really don't like about this movie is his adopted father, Pa Kent, I don't remember his name, death.
That's my main thing. It's so stupid.
I hate it. It's so bad. And again, I guess we should also preface, we are not comic book people.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
We don't know what happens in that. I
know the movies.
Some video games, like I know Superman 64, he likes to like fly through rings. Like that's a big thing for Superman.
He loves to do that.
But from what I do know, and what makes a lot more sense, is that I've heard that Pa Kent dies from a heart attack or like heart failure, which like makes a lot of sense because Superman can't stop heart failure. Like, what's he going to do? Laser his heart until it's better? Like, no. So having his death be something that is out of Superman, this amazingly powerful person, even out of his control, to be a changing point in his life is like a really good story beat. It's like, yeah, even Superman can't save his father from heart disease,
Yeah.
And that's a really good way for him to grow.
Let's kill him with a tornado.
For a tornado, and for it to be his dad just goes, "No, don't." You could save me. You could just walk forward, hold my hand, and we both walk away. But don't.
It's literally so dumb. Like the tornado's there, and like everyone just gets out of their car and like runs to a bridge, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we forgot the dog."
Yeah.
And Superman's like, "Oh, I'll get it. He's Superman." He's like, "No, don't use your powers, you stupid kid. I'll go get it. I'm old." And then he gets stuck.
He does a very bad job.
And then like right when he gets out, Superman's like, "Oh, I should go save him." But his dad's like,
He's like,
"No." He's like, "No, I don't want. Don't use your powers."
He doesn't even like walk forward to try to escape the tornado. Like he literally kills himself.
He just stands there.
Is that the point? Was it supposed to be a suicide?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But man, is that the very worst part of this movie is that death, because it makes zero sense. And it makes the character, it makes what he learns from that not make, because wouldn't you think the what he would learn from that was always use my powers forever?
Yeah, like what?
It's like, because it caused him to die. Like, well, I don't know, but you're right. That is very, very bad.
It's so bad.
Amy Adams in this movie, Lois Lane.
Queen.
She's great. I do love her. Her character's a little weird. Because she kind of acts a way that she never acts in any of the other movies. She's very go get it, go get 'em attitude in this. She's very unafraid and she's like everywhere somehow. She's got like a speed bike that she'll just like zoom and be anywhere.
Well, she unlocked fast travel.
Oh, right. I forgot. I didn't watch the extended Zack Snyder cut of this one, so
yeah,
that's in that one, right? But I don't know. She just felt a little bit off to me. Like, I don't know what it was. Did you not feel that at all?
Not really.
Okay. It was something because she was just hanging out with the military and was
like... But, I don't really remember what she's like in the other movies.
She's like nothing. She's like how she was in the Zack Snyder Justice League.
Okay.
She's just like Superman. But in this, she's like, yeah, I'll jump out of a flying plane.
That's pre-Superman, though, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like before they fell in love.
Yeah, I guess that is. I think that's when they fall in love, is when he catches her. Probably.
I'm trying to remember.
It's right at the end, because he's like, death is its own reward. And he flies it into the plane into the building, and she jumps out.
Oh, yeah, that was classic.
Like, and she's like, oh, you smell nice.
You smell nice.
Want to make a baby? She said something like that.
Yep. He says, habit is death process.
Flashbacks, too many.
Too many.
Too many of the kid, Clark. Don't need him. Unnecessary. I think you probably could have stopped it too. The one where it's like through the door and it's like he's seeing everybody's insides and everything. And she's like, oh, focus on my voice, focus on one thing. Because it's, him learning. Because Zod has problems with it later. And he's like, oh, my mom taught me how to deal with that. Ha ha ha. You don't have a mom. And then like one of the bully ones, just pick one. I don't care which one. You know,
not the one. I hate the one where he gets like punched in the face or something, like pushed into a fence, and his dad comes out and he's like, "You guys need to stop." And then he's like, I wanted to fight them so bad.
No, he's like, I wanted to end them or something like that.
And he's like, you can't use your powers.
Do you know what the school bus, where he saves the school bus? Because that's heroic.
Yeah, the school bus one was good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, too many of that. That was like the main flaw. But I did like Henry Cavill and Amy Adams dynamic. I loved it.
Great.
I thought they were great together. Like, they're a really good Superman, and she's a really good Lois Lane. You know,
Lois
Lane.
No, it's just a joke.
Okay, it was a bad joke.
Well, it was. Okay, let me explain the joke, because when I was watching Justice League, I was watching on PlayStation with some friends, and one friend would always say Lois. It'd be like, "Oh, look, it's Lois," and I would be like, "It's not her name. It's Lois." And he'd be like, "Oh, it's Lois."
Okay.
So
tell your friend that's a very unfunny joke.
No, but it wasn't. That's what he thought.
Oh, okay.
He thought her name was Lewis.
That's
a
little bit funnier. That's a boy's name, I think. I liked what they did for the characters. It was just the overall plot that I did not. In service to the characters, great. In service to the movie, you didn't like when he snapped Zod's neck?
It was good.
Yeah, it's cool.
I literally watched this like 3 or 4 days ago, and I don't remember it.
That's fair. I guess that says a lot too. You didn't like the part where he was at the bar and the dude was like pouring his beer all over him, so he went outside and just like threw 17 telephone poles into his truck.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, there you go.
Man of Steel, bad.
Man of Steel, fine.
I'd say it's still bad.
I don't think so.
Compared to the other ones, it's great. It's almost fantastic.
I don't usually say my ratings, but I'm pretty sure I gave Man of Steel a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 4.
So it's for me, it's just absolutely fine.
Okay.
But the next movie.
The next movie is obviously the best one of all of them.
So when you set up a cinematic universe, everybody knows the second movie is when you want to have 3 superheroes at the same time
fighting each other
and like 2 villains. You know, that's what you want when you're setting up, so everyone knows what's happening.
Just like Marvel did. They came out with Iron Man, and then the second movie was Civil War.
Right, exactly. It makes perfect sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, 2016, also from Zack Snyder. I saw this in theaters.
I could not tell you where I watched this movie the first time.
I was in theaters. I remember that. So you probably saw it in theaters too. We see most movies together, but maybe not.
Probably. I only ever saw it that once.
I did not rewatch this. Maybe we should pull up a wiki, because I do not remember this movie. I do not remember the last movie.
Batman v
So
Superman.
I guess that answers the question I was going to ask. You didn't watch the director's cut of this one.
No.
I thought about it.
It's like 3 hours.
Again.
We already have to watch the Snyder Cut, which is 4.
I know. I thought about it, and I was like, well, I wouldn't want to do that because it's 3 hours. I want to live my life a little bit. It's not great. Yeah, sure. Enlighten me.
Flashback. Bruce Wayne runs from his parents' funeral, remembering they were murdered.
Okay, this seems really in-depth. Can we get
falls into a cave.
Thinking,
bats take him to the surface. So, he's Batman now.
Okay, so the whole thing that I remember, because we're not going to actually do that.
I'm not going to read all of it. There's like 4 paragraphs I'm going to paraphrase.
Okay, let's...
You want to say your thing?
No, I was just going to paraphrase even more.
Superman has become... Superman's controversial. Is he good or is he bad?
Right, there's the court
Because their
scene.
fight was a big deal. Yeah, that's when they get, like, terrorist attacked.
Yeah, there's a bomb and people are like, Superman did it.
Yeah, because he obviously can't die.
Yeah.
Well...
But you find out by the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure this is cleared up in the director's cut, but in the theatrical cut, it made no sense, that Lex Luthor was behind it all, actually. And he hid the bomb behind a bunch of lead in like a lady's wheelchair so that Superman wouldn't be able to see it. And he's pulling the strings the whole time to pit Batman against Superman from the beginning. And it all culminates. Wonder Woman's there, I think, for a little bit. She's actually just like detectiving or something. She is there for a second. And they fight. Any more to add, or you still?
Yeah, like Luthor lures him, Superman.
Yeah. And he's got like his bat suit that's designed to fight Superman and be super cool, kinda. It's an okay suit, you know.
And Batman has a kryptonite spear.
Yeah, that's the thing that'll defeat him because he doesn't like
to beat
kryptonite.
Superman.
And so he gets him down, and obviously it's the famous line. He's like, "Oh, Martha, save Martha."
Oh, I thought it was the "Do you bleed?"
Well, that's a good line too, but I think "save Martha" is like the bad line that people always talk about.
Martha.
He's like, "How do you know that name?" Right? And he's like, "Oh, it's my mom." And he's like, "Oh, go save my mommy, please." And Batman's like, "Okay."
Mommy.
And so he's like, "Okay, if Martha dies, that's not gonna be good. Superman's gonna be kind of mad, so I'm gonna go do it quickly." And maybe you disagree. I don't think we need that anymore. We're at the end of the movie, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. That helped a lot.
I was thinking like IMDb, just like the.
You said wiki.
I know, but I don't know. I was kind of like, that was the joke. It's like you need a wiki to be able to understand the plot, and even when you read it, it doesn't really help. Anyway, so we get to the scene that I want to talk about, which is the warehouse fight with Batman in the warehouse, where he's fighting all those goons.
Yeah, people seem to like that.
It's good. The choreography is good. I wanted to make a note of it because from that movie on, the choreography of the fights is pretty good in DC movies. I think it's better than most Marvel movies, the fight choreography.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
But I will say not in Birds of Prey, in my opinion.
Really? But you love John Wick.
Okay. Do not ever compare Birds of Prey and John Wick.
It's the same people.
Well, they fucked up somewhere because I fucking hate the Birds of Prey.
Really?
Action
really?
scene. That's later. That's like 6 movies from now.
That's 6 movies from now. But that's interesting because I was going to say that I thought the action, for the most part, had pretty interesting stuff going on in most of these movies. Man of Steel was like nothing. Basically.
Man of Steel is just like the camera being like explosion.
Yeah, and they punch and they fly, and then they punch and they fly. Like it's not very interesting. But the Batman scene where it's just Batman and his gadgets and normal people, and
it's fun.
He's brutal enough because he knows that's like, oh, if this doesn't happen, he's not killing people, so they say. But he's being very brutal because it's like just to take these people out as fast as possible. I like that aspect of it. I felt like a lot of people. There's a part where I think he shoots rockets at somebody, and that's like okay. But I like the idea of Batman being like, oh, no, I'm going to break both of his legs because I need to get this done. Like, this is time sensitive. That sounds like something Batman would do to me, So I enjoyed that. The actual fight where it's like Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman, like that part, who cares?
What about the Batman versus Superman part?
I don't remember it being that. I remember a lot of smashing through walls.
I remember Batman whooping Superman. It wasn't even close from what I remember.
He's like a normal dude. You gonna say Batman would have a trouble against like a guy with like cancer? That's what kryptonite does to him. He like can't breathe. He's like, oh.
Hey, well, he handled business.
That's how it goes.
And then Doomsday shows up.
Yeah, and they all fight, and Wonder Woman's there, and she's like, is she with you? He's like, I maybe. And
I thought she was with you.
That's Wonder Woman's debut.
Yeah, she just shows up. Just like Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
at the end of Endgame.
She's just there. And so we have Batman and Wonder Woman in the second movie in this universe.
Yep.
Cool.
And then Superman dies.
Yes. What do you think of Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg?
I like Jesse Eisenberg. I don't know what Lex Luthor is like in like the comics, what his personality is supposed to be like, but I think Jesse Eisenberg does a pretty good job being like kind of crazy. Unlike Jared Leto.
Yeah. I don't hate this Lex Luthor, but I don't like this Lex Luthor.
He's kind of annoying.
Yeah. I wish maybe he got a little bit, because he never really gets any play in the whole DCEU so far, It's like if he got a little bit more, maybe I'd like him a bit.
Yeah.
But he's just like fine. Like I don't hate him, but it's like I'll take it. It could be worse. Could be a lot worse. And I like Jesse Eisenberg, so that probably helps.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else to say.
No, Batman vs Superman sucks.
It's pretty bad. It's incomprehensible in the original theatrical cut. It's like the plot is literally cut out of the movie, so you don't know what's happening. Director's cut's supposed to be better, but I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah, I'll take their word for it.
I already wasted my time once. Yesterday.
Great. Now for the real best movie of the list.
The Oscar winner.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Suicide Squad, 2016. David Ayer. Here's the thing about that. Rewatching this movie.
You rewatched Suicide Squad?
I did.
Sorry to hear that.
Hot take. It's not as bad as I remember.
I think it's because you were expecting it to be so atrocious that you were like,
but here's the thing.
Okay. And you probably didn't pay attention.
But here's the thing. The Joker is worse than I remember.
Oh, jeez.
So the movie's better, but the Joker's even worse. How is that possible?
We live in a society.
You don't want no beef? You don't know what beef? You don't want no beef?
Yes, the freaking hand
What's the
over
other?
the mouth.
It's like he's like, I'm an idea. And so there's more cringy lines that I hate, and part of it is the lines in his defense, but he's got this weird gangster thing going on that turns into like 60s gangsta at some point, where he's like, "Come on, sugar tits, let's escape this escapade," you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this Joker? Like, what the hell?
Oh, man.
So the movie's not as bad as I remember, but the Joker is worse. So that makes, the first 45 minutes pretty atrocious. And then you get the middle 30, and it's like, oh, that's decent. And then you get the end, and it's back to like, oh, it's not that great.
Then does like the witch lady,
and yeah,
right?
and her brother, Incubus brother, yeah.
And they're like, ah!
Mm-hmm. And so they're Suicide Squad. They're all villains. They're in prison, and Amanda Waller, who's a great character. I think she's really interesting. She's Viola Davis. She's the one who's like, let's get them together. The black lady,
yes,
like the FBI. Yeah, FBI. I think.
Remember.
And she gets them all together, and they're like, oh, if you don't do it, we'll blow your heads off because we put explosives in your throat. Okay, cool. And they have to go extract her, and they have to stop the Enchantress because she's super powerful and she will destroy everything. And that's the mission. It's like, if you don't do it, well, you'll die anyway, so you might as well do it. Right? You have, for the first 30 minutes, this is what the movie is. It's just explaining every character. You have Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie.
Right, great.
Mr. J is going to come break me out of jail, and then he's going to raw dog me all night. That's what she says.
Did she really say that? No. I was about to be like, oh, I don't remember that.
No, but she would. Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, I think she's great.
Great.
She's a fantastic
She's fantastic as
yeah.
Harley Quinn.
And her design, I love this Harley Quinn design.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a great makeup and costume.
Not compared to
Killer Croc's makeup and costume. Well, not the costume, but the makeup, honestly, is really good if you take a second chance and watch it. Like, it's really, really good. El Diablo's tattoos are cool.
El Diablo.
The boomerang guy I hate, so who cares?
Doesn't he die anyway?
No.
Okay.
Slipknot dies.
Who's that?
The guy who dies. So you have Slipknot. He can climb anything. So they get into the town. They're like, if you run, you'll die. So what does Slipknot do? He runs, and he dies.
Okay.
And then you have Katana, hers is fine, but she's got the sword with all the souls trapped on her. She's the Japanese lady who's on the good guy's side, actually. And that's all the characters.
No. You're forgetting about Will Smith.
Oh, yes. Will Smith is Deadshot. And
You're asking the wrong guy.
He's never missed. Until this movie, but he did it on purpose, so not really. He never missed. He's an absolute marksman. He's got a daughter that he loves, right? So he wants to see his daughter, so obviously he wants to do this so he can get out and see her. Everyone doesn't want to die. That's basically their motivation. Suicide Squad.
Right.
The main entrenched main antagonist, she's never really on screen until the end. With the anti-heroes, actually talking to each other. The only people who really get arcs are Will Smith and the El Diablo character. Nobody else really gets a story. Flag does too, the sergeant guy who's in love with the Enchantress. But really, it's El Diablo and Will Smith. El Diablo dies.
Dang.
So that kind of goes where that goes. It makes sense for his character because he like killed his kids and he's upset about it, so he never wants to use his powers again. So sure, I guess. And Will Smith gets to see his daughter every once in a while. Yay, until he breaks out of prison and starts murdering people again, right?
Right.
There's probably comics are stupid, so there's probably something where his daughter becomes like the next Deadshot and is like twice as good, stuff like that.
She double never misses.
Right, exactly.
She always hits him twice instead of once.
Yeah, twice. Exactly. But I like the idea of the movie. Oh look, it's all the villains, and they have to do it again. They have to save the world against their will. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has any troubles with that.
Yeah, I guess Suicide Squad must have been like run of comics, I think is what they call it.
Must have been.
If it got turned into a movie.
And it's getting remade.
Like new. So, Harley Quinn, they try to give an arc, but not really.
I just remember her. It's like her origin story.
Yeah.
She falls into the thing.
They show that she was a psychiatrist and goes into acid. And the Joker at first is like, oh, I'm going to let her die. But then he's like, no, I should save her. And he saves her. And then she falls in love.
I should let her die.
Oh. Or not. I'm trying. There's one more line that I'm missing that was so bad. It was right before the beef line because it was like back to back.
Oh, you want beef?
Beef. No. It was something where he goes like, oh, he's like, say you want it. Please. It was so bad. The editing with all the Joker parts is also really weird. It's just like jumbled and a mess. It's like they didn't have enough.
Like the Joker.
It's like they didn't have enough footage. I
guess
guess
all quirky.
That's what they went for. I guess he's damaged. Did you know?
He's damaged.
He's so bad is all I can say. And he ruins the movie. Still, the movie is a little less than fine overall.
So it's bad.
It's as good as Batman versus Superman.
No, there's no way.
I think so. Only because Margot Robbie, I mean, she's like the new Harley Quinn to me.
That's true, yeah. All right, I'll give it that. Better than Batman v Superman.
Yeah, sure.
Worse than Man of Steel.
Yes, yeah, I would say. Because you can't have that Joker and have the movie be fine.
Okay.
Too bad. So we can move on to Wonder Woman.
Here's the thing about Wonder Woman from 2017 from Patty Jenkins.
A year after Batman vs. Superman.
This movie is, I would say, objectively better than the last 3 movies that we've seen, but I personally think that it is bad, and I hate that everyone thinks it's so good. Mm-hmm. It makes me hate it more, and I gave this movie a 1 out of 10 because I think the rating is too high on IMDb.
The worst part of this movie is that everybody likes it.
Yes. It's not even the movie's fault.
I would have to agree because the movie is at least fine.
Yeah.
At the very least. It could even just be slightly above average if you like. I think we both had problems with a lot of the slow. It was one of those slow-mo heavy ones.
Oh my gosh. The slow-mo is so... This movie would be... I think Wonder Woman's probably 2.5 hours. I'm just assuming.
Let's assume, yeah.
If they took out all the slow-mo and made it like normal speed, it would be 1.5 hours.
It's probably true. There's a lot. However, the good things about the movie, it's like World War One, probably.
Yeah, because she does No Man's Land. That's when she's like...
Gotcha, yeah. World War One, and she's just trying to stop the war, right? And so the whole kind of point of the film, just to get to my least favorite part about it, is they're like, look, people are evil. There's not some big bad guy you can kill to make people be good, right?
Oh, what
and
a
then
nice
Wonder Woman's
message.
like, wow, who's that? That's the bad guy that you need to kill.
I am Ares, the god of war. I have a mustache.
And it's like, oh, if I kill him, everyone will be good. And they're like, yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, sweet. I still believe what you said, but also superhero movie. It like undermines it so hard for no reason.
Did you rewatch this one?
No.
Okay.
Did you?
No.
Okay.
Who do you think I am? I just had to freaking watch Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to subject myself to the first one.
I don't know about that. But is it... honestly, if you took out the last Ares fight and just changed it to be something a little more interesting, how much better would the movie be? Because
I'd have to rewatch.
It ruins a lot of the movie for me. The ending, where it's like they have that idea of like, there's nobody you can beat up, and there's like, there's the guy, beat him up. It ruins a lot of the movie. It could make it like one of the best ones, I think, if they fix that and they shave the mustache, maybe.
The mustache is so bad.
So they have Ares, right? And he's like this god, and he was a character that was like there all along. And he's a character that in this time period makes sense. He has the kind of mustache that like comes from his sideburns, you know? I think that's how I remember it. And then they go like, oh, here's him 80,000 years ago, and he has the same exact mustache. And it's just like, oh, that was in style back then. Maybe they were doing a Defy Bloods thing. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, that was the intention of.
That was the intention. Also, don't they all speak English? That's a stupid thing, but it's still funny.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure they do. Chris Pine, though.
Love Chris Pine.
I like their chemistry.
Yeah, he's great. Him and Gal Gadot.
I mentioned this when we talked about 1984 on an earlier episode, but her being a fish out of water really worked to her advantage with how her acting is. You know, she felt natural, as in not knowing what to do.
That's mean.
That is mean. She's very pretty.
Gal Gadot is a beautiful woman.
Oh, that reminds me of the end of Man of Steel when the one general lady is like, sorry, Superman's just so hot.
Oh, yeah.
It's
classic.
But yeah, Wonder Woman. If we could take a second to stop and talk about casting, just because it made me think of that. She's a great Wonder Woman.
Fantastic.
Margot Robbie, great Harley Quinn. Henry Cavill. Yeah, Cavill. Fantastic Superman. Mm-hmm. Amy Adams, great as Lois Lane. They're pretty solid for their big people, except for bad guys, I guess. They're big people. They have really solid casting, I think, for like across the entire board.
Yeah, I would agree.
That goes on to James Momoa and Ezra Miller as well.
What about Ben Affleck?
I can't tell. That's not my fault. I don't know. I don't know if he is.
All right. Speaking of Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Justice League, the first one.
2017.
The disaster.
Directed by Zack Snyder for principal photography, and then he stepped down and Joss Whedon took over.
And cut 90% of what Zack Snyder shot.
Apparently, you were reading me an article about it before the show.
Joss Whedon came in,
believe it,
wrote 80 more pages to the script, and then only used 10% of the footage that Zack Snyder used.
Now, Zack Snyder's cut is 4 hours long, so he may have had 40 hours of movie, so maybe 10% like makes sense.
So,
but it's still very different. So, Justice League, we saw this in theaters. We got posters even.
Yeah, we did. I still have mine. It's in my room.
I do not have mine. I do not have mine anymore.
I'm a stan.
Perfect. Then you can tell us all about what you love about this movie.
Oh, I love it. I love that it's so funny and the jokes always are super good and the characters have really interesting arcs and they play well off of each other, especially Cyborg. He's great in the first Justice League. He's so good. His story really resonated.
So Ben Affleck and Wonder Woman, well, mostly Batman, is like, oh, there's evil coming. I have to get all the superheroes together to fight it. And the movie's him getting them together and then them fighting the bad guy. Do they even do the mother boxes in the 2017?
I don't think so, because when I was watching Snyder Cut, I was like, wow, wait, there's more than one?
Right,
and
exactly.
They have to, get them. They're in other places.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
I do remember Steppenwolf, killing the Atlanteans and leaving. So he must have been taking them, but they just didn't, talk about the other two. You know? Because I do remember him, coming in and, beating up Aquaman super bad and then, leaving, you know? Steppenwolf is, I don't know, he's fine.
He looks terrible.
Looks pretty bad. In both, I'll just go ahead and say.
No, that's where you're wrong.
What?
We'll get into the Snyder Cut later.
Okay.
But he looks, the whole movie looks terrible.
In this. Yeah, I mean, effects and the colors are like way
so gross.
overdone.
They're like brown.
Yeah,
Everything is brown.
It's very bad. It's not.
And then they just like have a big battle and they just win and they're like, yeah.
Like oranges and browns at the last battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those.
Yeah.
And they fight them, and then they just what they do is they fight them and they have a really bad time. And then the Superman that they resurrected just comes in and wins the fight for them.
Right.
You know.
Also, there's that part where Superman's like bad.
Yeah, Superman's bad. It makes sense.
For a second. He comes back and he's like, oh, I want to kill.
Yeah. I liked that was probably the only scene in the original that I liked.
I like that scene too.
Was that scene?
It's cool when Flash is going like, Flash speed and Superman's like.
Yeah, precisely. Because
at him.
Barry's never seen something like that before, so
Yeah.
he gets super put off balance. He's pretty much useless for the rest of the fight. It's a short scene if I remember in this one. It's lasts not very long because Lois Lane just walks up.
She's like, ah.
She's just like, ah. And he's like, oh, okay.
Kal-El.
And he takes her away to the farm, and he chills there until he comes to win
And
the
his
day.
mustache is removed
It is
digitally.
It's digitally gone. I don't know. Again, it was the only part that I liked in the original cut was that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically that moment with Flash. Wait. Isn't the end of this movie where they have a race? Isn't it the after credit scene?
Race?
Yeah, Superman and Flash look at each other and they're like, let's see who's faster once and for all. And Superman goes, okay, kid. And they go, zoom. Or is that a different movie that I'm thinking of?
I don't remember that.
It was like an after credit scene. Like a, Marvel-esque funny haha look.
I don't remember that.
Okay. There were a lot of funny
Could be,
ha-has
though,
in this
I don't
movie.
know. Yeah, they're so funny.
There were attempts to be funny at the very least. Like quite a bit, if I remember correctly. I don't think any of them landed.
Love it when Aquaman is like, yo!
My man! I was trying to remember, does Cyborg say booyah in the original one? I think he does. I think he goes, booyah! Because that's like Cyborg's thing in the comics, I think.
Okay.
Booyah is like his, Let's talk about Cyborg's arc.
It's so great.
So it starts, we see him staring out a window. He's got a hoodie. And then he starts shooting lasers at Steppenwolf. And that's his arc.
Yep. There it is, boys.
That's literally it.
It's terrible.
You find out that his dad did it to him. And then he's just like, I'm in.
He's like, let's go. I'm ready to fight.
It's so bad.
And he looks terrible.
It's not great at all.
He looks like just a bunch of polygons.
Yeah, even the design is just not fun. Even if it looked better literally, the design is just... I mean, I don't know what you do with Cyborg. He's a robot. But
I'd say you could put him in a costume instead of him being CGI.
Oh, so a robot, but it's like a
robot costume.
Doom Patrol. I think that's what they do. They have an actual just costume.
There we go. Is it that hard? Is it really that hard to just put him in a robot costume and have half of a mask?
Right, like half a mask and just have a little LED.
Perfect. Is it that hard? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like maybe a lot of money went to that, but pay your people, I guess. They saved the day.
They beat Steppenwolf. Yes.
All I gotta say is that in this cut, I remember with Steppenwolf, like nobody got any hits in ever. It's like Steppenwolf just absolutely stomped all of them the whole time, from my memory.
I don't remember.
And then Superman came in, and Steppenwolf didn't even get a single hit in. It was just like beat down city. Because I remember I had issues with that. I was like, really, all 5 of them or however many, and they didn't even get one punch. Like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman, The Flash, and Cyborg, and not even a punch. It bothered me because I was like,
Steppenwolf, he's just built different.
Because I was like, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, obviously they're not Superman strong, but Aquaman underwater could like take on Superman underwater, like
Could he?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know the power scaling.
Maybe not like Ultra Instinct Superman, but like he could definitely take out every like Wonder Woman underwater. What's Wonder Woman gonna do underwater?
Die because she can't breathe underwater.
That's a big thing.
Can Superman breathe underwater?
His lungs are probably super strong. He'd probably hold it for like a super long time.
Not as can Superman handle the pressure of
definitely
the ocean?
Yes, definitely. So could Wonder Woman. Only Batman and the Flash. Cyborg probably could too. He just short circuit. It's like, I'm not waterproof.
I don't know. Okay. Anyway, Justice League, very bad.
Yeah,
Very bad.
it is not good at all. But we got a poster.
Speaking of not good, Aquaman.
Yeah.
2018.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. Honestly, I think Aquaman is like totally. Oh, sorry, my conversation got blocked by an explosion, which happens 7 times in this movie.
You counted.
No, it didn't, but it happens. I can think of 4 off the top of my head. I can think of 4 times that a conversation they get blown up in the middle, and it's right at the beginning. It's when they're looking at the statues. It's when he like first meets Orm, I think, and then it's somewhere at there's another one at the end.
Nice.
And it's just they're talking, and then explosion. It happens so much.
Nice.
Oh, I think there's another one in the submarine with Black Manta, where they're talking.
Black Manta.
You know, I love Black Manta. Not in this movie, but
I laughed when he came out with his costume. I thought it was hilarious.
Here's the thing.
It looks so stupid.
His costumes, yeah, I know. His costumes in this movie, like between him and the Atlanteans, it's like Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's like I was like,
it's like
what is happening?
Super duper Power Rangers. It's very strange. In the comics, Black Manta looks really cool. I mean, it's still like the weird shape, but the eyes aren't like so big. They're more like slits. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but
he looks ridiculous in this movie.
It's not well done. It's like it looks like a big mushroom head, you know?
Everybody looks ridiculous in this movie, but that's besides the point.
Mira's hair is now red instead of orange like it used to be. Willem Dafoe puts his hair in a bun instead of long.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Does he?
No.
Nobody looks cool. Even his Aquaman armor is pretty. Even though that's, his comic book look, I don't like the orange with the green gloves. I'm not a huge fan of it.
The one thing is like that I give props to them for Aquaman was they really went for it. And I'm glad that they stuck to their hearts and they really, really went for what they wanted to make, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just really doesn't work.
So we have Arthur Curry. This is after Justice League, by the way.
Yes.
And basically Atlantis is not having a good time. His brothers wants to wage war against the surface. He needs to find the original king's trident and take the throne. And guess what? He does it. That's the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I want to get off. Well, if you want to talk about what they tried, right? I would say that, like I said, the choreography, they were trying. They tried to do something.
That first fight scene, I was like, what is going on?
The choreography they tried, but the camera work for like all the fight scenes was like so. It's not that it was like quote unquote bad, but it was distracting, if that makes sense. Like the camera was showing you the action, but it was so distracting how it did it.
I know exactly how to explain the opening fight scene in the house with Nicole Kidman.
Okay, who I didn't know was in this movie.
Yeah, me too. I was like, wow, hello.
I was like,
oh, queen?
That's too bad that you're this character.
So, you know how the first fight scene's like really strange looking.
Yeah.
You know how in like sports, like football, they'll do like the ESPN 360 and they'll like do like that weird where they're like at one camera and then it like to another one.
Yeah.
That's what the fight scenes are like.
I've seen that in rap videos, I think.
And it just like, it looks fine. And then like when they switch to the camera, it looks like digitized, obviously. And then like, that's what the fight scenes are like.
Amazingly distracting. Because even that one, and then there's the one where Black Manta first shows up in the helmet, like on the rooftops, where like it's her running away and him. It's like they switch between both the two scenes. I like the transition between those, where it's like, oh, you could see her running in the background, and then it would literally just go. I was like, that's neat. But I don't know. It was just so distracting is the word for it. It was something where I was like, why can't the camera just like show me? Which is weird because it might seem like something I would praise to somebody, but it's the submarine scene at the very beginning. I guess that was okay. That was pretty good. He had like the thing, he would throw it, and I think the guy like went horizontal and the camera went. I was like, okay, sure, that's fine. But when you're doing the weird multiple angles and the camera's like, I don't know, distracting is the word for it.
The other thing,
yeah,
when they're underwater, like half this movie takes place underwater.
Yes.
When they talk, it sounds like this.
Be careful with that. Yeah. I thought when it first happened, because I just got a new TV. Okay. And this is actually hilarious. I got a new TV.
Okay.
And I was like doing whatever on it, and I was like, oh, the speakers on this TV aren't very good, right? And so I was like, okay, I'll hook up my soundbar. I had a soundbar in my bedroom, and I was like, okay, I'll bring it out here and have my soundbar connected to this TV.
Right.
Like, great. Soundbar's connected. Awesome. Start playing Aquaman. It's like the very first thing I start playing. They go underwater, and I stopped the movie, and I was like, are my TV speakers on at the same time as my soundbar? And I go back there, and I'm like, how do I turn just my TV speakers off? And I spend like 15 minutes like, why won't the... And I'm like, wait, the movie just sounds like this.
It's so annoying.
Because I thought it was like, the slight delay where it's like...
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was like, oh, this is an annoying problem. I hate when it sounds like this. Oh, it's just the movie. My soundbar is great.
Yeah, yikes. And my thing is, why? Why can't they just talk?
I don't know.
They're Atlanteans. They can breathe underwater. Why can't when they talk? Why can't it just sound normal? Why does it gotta sound like they're underwater?
It's stupid. It's really stupid. And then I was like very relieved when they did the bubble of air.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
I was just like, oh, they can just talk and it can just be the water sound in the background. I'm fine with that.
I like that, but my other thing is I don't understand. What is the point of them doing that?
Only the highborns can breathe in the air. So it's like they can't be spied on because...
Okay. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
They never said that. I'm just saying that for the movie because it makes sense. But they never said
that. So you don't even know if that's true.
Well, no, it is. They say that the highborns can't breathe, but they never say that's why they do it. But I assume that's why.
Okay.
We learned that only Willem Dafoe, Mira, Orm, and...
can breathe the air.
So it would make sense if they did it to be secure.
Okay, hold on. If that's true,
then just...
How do they wage war against the surface?
With water. They bring water bottles, and whenever they get thirsty, well, they have the suits, They attack the surface.
Right, yes, yeah. You're right.
But they broke that in the Justice League, I think, when Steppenwolf took them out of the water and was, like, interrogating a random guard, and he was just, like, fine.
Maybe he was, Aquaman in disguise.
I'm certain when he got his head crushed right after, it's just Aquaman's...
No. It's just I don't know.
But yeah, that's the thing for that. I guess they'd have their suits and they'd be like, oh, the surface. Grr.
Yeah. I did like the giant sea creature that defends the trident. Thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And how it was like just wanted someone to talk to it.
He's like, you can understand me. Yeah. I love Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I think he's a great dude. His character between Aquaman and Justice League, who is that? It's like two separate people.
Yeah.
And Aquaman, it's probably their very first Marvel movie, if I can say that, where it's like, it's very obvious they seem to be trying really hard to capture Marvel tone and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of jokes and it's a lot of back and forth between him and Mira. But he's like, half the times he's like stupid. Then the other times he's like, oh yeah, this is a Greek sailor who flew to whatever. And he's like, oh, this is the only king out of all of these because my dad taught me all of ancient history, And then he's like nice in this one, but in Justice League, he's like, maybe I should fucking kill you, Batman. He's such a different character between Justice League and this. And I liked having Aquaman be kind of a dick. I thought it was interesting. Just, it's new, it's different. But in this, he's just kind of like, oh, I'm kind of mean. But once I warm up, I'm just like, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, we're buddies.
I don't know, man. It really bothered me, his character not having any sort of consistency in my eyes at all.
Agreed.
Like, at all. Orm was, I liked his casting, though. He was good.
Orm.
The king, his brother king. The bad guy.
Oh.
I thought his casting was good. He seemed like kind of the regal type,
Yeah.
It's good. I got to give the movie something.
I guess.
Nicole Kidman is fine.
Cool.
for the 2 minutes that she's there.
Yeah.
But seriously, when like the beginning when they're on the dock, it's just like the background. I'm just like,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah.
Looks rough.
But I mean, the movie is there's like VFX in like every single shot. There's probably not one single thing that doesn't have VFX, and a lot of it like looks weird. But the scene that I actually thought was really cool, when they're on the boat and like I think they're called the Deep, those like demon
the fish people
creatures, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was called the Deep. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Anyway, and they like attack their boat and then they jump into the water to like try to swim away, and it's like that big, huge, wide shot, and you have like the light from the flare that he takes down, and you can just see them all like. I thought that was really cool.
That was cool.
I actually thought that was pretty great. So, great job, whoever worked on that specific scene.
I have to say,
Aquaman. It was great.
Maybe, I don't know if you had the same experience, but maybe this affected my view of the movie. I was told, this and Shazam, I was told, Aquaman and Shazam, they're the good ones. They're great. The rest are bad. I agree with you. You know, everyone was telling me, oh yeah, they all suck, but Aquaman and Shazam, wow. I'd already seen Shazam, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I do.
And so I was like, okay, Aquaman. I was just like,
sorry to hear that.
that's not good. What do you mean that's good? It's not. So why don't we move right on to Shazam?
Shazam, this is the first good one.
Yeah, next year, 2019, David F. Sandberg. Shazam.
It's Shazam. Freaking great. Compared to the other movies, it's a freaking masterpiece.
That's true.
It's incredible.
That is true. It is the best out of all of these.
It's likable. It's actually funny.
Yeah, it's jokes that land.
The visuals are good. The fight scenes are pretty good.
It plays with a lot of superhero tropes, which is really refreshing.
Yes,
you know,
it's great.
It's great. It's just Billy Batson, I think. He's like an orphan boy, and he gets summoned by a wizard. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna take my powers." And he doesn't really have a choice in it.
Yeah, he's like, "What?"
He's just like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave." And so he gets bestowed with his powers. He says Shazam. He turns into a superpowered like adult man, you know, like 30-something-year-old.
Yeah.
And he has these powers. He has like Superman powers now, basically, you know. And it's him dealing with that, and then a guy who's like, "Oh, I need that power. It's to take over the world." And they fight. There's the movie. Except the end, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
I already spoke about this because I'd seen this not too long ago. My biggest complaint was the disparity between the kid actor and the adult Shazam actor.
Yeah, I remember you saying
because the kid was just like depressed and like had no energy all the time. But when he turned adult, he was always super high energy, super funny. You know, it's like he was making jokes as an adult that he didn't make as a kid, but it's like it's the same brain. Does the power make you funnier?
Yeah, I guess it
could. I don't see why not. But that was definitely my biggest like negative. I found it pretty jarring, actually. Usually. What are your thoughts?
Wait, jarring? What was jarring?
The idea of them being the same person, and they just didn't seem like the same person. The kid and the superhero version.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's probably the weakest part of the film, but it doesn't
ruin
take me out like too much. Like I can be like, yeah, okay.
Right.
Especially when, you know, these other movies are next to it.
Yes, especially.
I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. But I remember, I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember the relationship. I think it's between the kid and his mom, which like was never there. When he goes and like meets,
he finds her,
his mom.
Yeah.
I remember that scene being very touching. I just trying to remember my feelings. I remember that being like good scene because she's like, "Oh, like you're here, like
now's not a good time for me.
Kind of busy."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wow."
I guess you would call that touching. Usually you say touching when it's.
Oh yeah, sorry, not touching, emotional.
Yeah, emotional. Yes. Yeah, that is a pretty heart-wrenching scene where he's like, "Oh, he finally finds her." She was like in his backyard the whole time, kind of. And he's just like, yeah, maybe later, maybe next week we could have brunch, and then you could go back to whatever hole you came from. So that's what I'm trying to do.
And just like how that happened, I think if I remember correctly, they're like at a carnival.
Is when he loses her.
Yeah, and he just like, he's a little kid. He, runs away for a second, and she like can't find him, and then she's just like, well,
Well, no, she can't. What the explanation is that she can't. She does find him, but she sees that the police are like around looking for her, and she's like, I can't take care of him. I don't have the money. He's gonna be better off without me.
Yeah, he got superpowers.
That's better off, maybe, right? So yeah, the dynamic. You have these kid actors who do a pretty good job.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
His friend is probably my favorite out of all the kid actors.
That the one with the crutches?
Yeah, the crutches one.
Yeah, he's
his
funny.
brother, right? His adopted brother. Yeah, the kids were a lot better because when you have a movie with a lot of kid actors, you kind of prepare yourself. You're like,
right?
Okay,
yeah. You're like, I don't know.
But they pulled it off. It didn't give me like Disney original vibes, which it can do a lot.
Yeah.
The villain, pretty threatening, dude.
Yeah.
He's
Lord Blackwood.
He's obviously a little more comical. That's fine, but he shoots that dude out the side of the office building. He's just like, yeah, go.
And the 7 deadly sins are cool too.
Yeah,
I think
cool
they
designs.
look really cool.
Yeah, they have very cool designs. If we want to go straight to the end now, since it's like the final confrontation, he needs 5 more or 4 more, however many more, to take on the power of Shazam. So they all get together and he's like, guys, I figured out. And they all join hands on a thing. He's like, you need to say my name. So they
say my name.
Billy.
Yeah.
Like, no, my superhero name. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was funny.
It's a great scene. And they do it and they all get the superpowers. They all turn into adults and they have
their own Shazam powers.
Their own Shazam thing going on. And so they each kind of, it's like, okay, you take greed, you take lust, just fight them off. And it's a very nice scene of just, seeing them kind of come into their powers and take them out. It's just fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just entertaining. Simple as that. And how he gets Envy, I think, to come out at the end by saying, it's like, oh, no wonder Envy won't fight me because look at him compared to everybody else. It's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. It's cute,
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, it doesn't need to be like this deep, meaningful movie. It just needs to be like fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the movie is.
It's
just
fun.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And they defeat him, and then they're like, yeah, we did it. We're the
Yay.
Shazam-ally now.
The Shazam-ally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what the sequel would look like?
I don't know, but count me in because it's the only one that did anything.
Right, yeah. So you didn't like the next movie on our list?
No.
Really?
I don't know if I hate it, but I don't like it.
Birds of Prey or the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn or something like that.
Yeah. Me and the Joker broke up.
2020 from Kathy Yan. So yeah, continue. Me and the Joker broke up.
Me and the Joker broke up. So what? Like okay, my least favorite thing about this movie is it goes for like a little bit, and then she's like, "Wait, hold on.
Yes.
I need to tell this story my way. I can tell however the fuck I want.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go here."
Yeah. Okay. The movie starts and it's like it starts at like halfway through the movie, and then it goes back to the beginning, and then it gets to halfway, and then it finishes. But I feel like it even jumps around one more time. Oh, because it has flashbacks.
Yes, it's
right.
Freaking like
it's like The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes, it's like why is it presented like this?
I honestly don't think it felt very Deadpool. Like they were trying to do like a Deadpool thing with it to make Harley Quinn DC's Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Harley Quinn's that character. I didn't even like the idea of her breaking the fourth wall and talking straight to the.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn. I don't know. That's just not what she is to me. She's too, whatever. The idea of her, breaking away from the Joker, it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
However, she doesn't grow in this movie. She's supposed to, but I don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't. It's supposed to be her becoming like self-dependent. At least that's what I think it's supposed to be about. She doesn't need the Joker anymore. She grows out of it.
She has a kid now.
Yeah, it's Batgirl. And
is that who that is?
I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cassandra Cain. I'm pretty sure she's one of the Batgirls. There's like 90 of them.
Okay, didn't know that.
I'm like, okay, don't quote me, but maybe.
Quote right now. Twitch, clip that.
Clip that.
Bam.
Mods. Anyway, thank you for that. So she's broken up with the Joker. She has no protection anymore. Everybody wants her dead because she's been a crazy person and attacked people, right? So they all come after her, and then you have Obi-Wan Kenobi is like, I want you dead the most. But what he really wants is like this diamond thing. Okay. That has the clue to a like location of the fortune of this like big mob family that he killed, right?
Right.
The diamond has like the location inscribed on it, like an atomic level.
Right.
Like that.
Yes.
So
and that's coming back to me.
So she's like, okay, I'll get the diamond and then you can let me live. And he's like, I guess that works. That diamond's pretty important to me. But the kid stole the diamond and ate it. So
your tummy.
Is Harley Quinn the type of person to not kill a kid? Yeah, I would say that Harley Quinn probably doesn't make it a habit to gut children. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Unless Joker straight up said, gut that child.
Mr. J.
Mr. J was like, gut that child, sure.
Okay.
And so she's got her, and it's basically, she's like, you need to shit, kid, please. Please.
Give you the laxatives.
It's laxative. She gets hunted by a detective woman and she works with the singer at the club who's Black Canary and somebody out for revenge, which is the Huntress, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. And they all team up to fight him at the end, right? Or fight his goons, and then they blow him up with a grenade, which is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, when he blew up, I was like, whoa.
That will bring me to my next point, since we've kind of described the movie now. This movie's too edgy. They had the R rating, and they're like, yeah, let's go for it. Calm down with the F-bombs. You don't need that many. I was just like, lighten up. It's a little cringe, if you ask me.
A little cringe.
It's not based at all.
Okay.
You know, did you not feel that way? Did it feel it was too...
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
For sure.
What else do you feel?
I feel like just everything bothered me.
Yeah.
I just found it to be very annoying all the time. Mm-hmm. The way everyone acted was annoying.
I want to say there were maybe 6 unique like songs played in like the first 5 minutes. You know, like rap music or pop music, like immediately, just nonstop changing, kind of like Suicide Squad. I was like, who is this Harley Quinn? This is not the Harley Quinn we saw in Suicide Squad.
Yes, I agree. It's like, I don't know who this is.
The writing is just completely different, and the design is a lot worse. You know, I thought they were going to do something a lot more different, but she just cut her hair.
She's like, I cut my hair.
And that's it. I was like, I was expecting something, but they really did nothing. It reminds me of the show that is going on right now. I don't remember what it's called. But it's an animated DC show about Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. It might be called Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
I know what you're talking about.
But that's the plot of the show, is they break up and Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy start dating, basically. Not actually yet, I don't think. But, you know, they like are roommates. And it's their adventures.
And they were roommates.
Yeah, and she's like doing her own things, right? And that's... And I've seen clips. It's a really funny show. It seems to do it really well. And this movie just kind of like failed on a lot of levels. I think it's okay to watch if you kind of turn your brain off and don't think about it. You know, it gets along. The one thing I knew about this movie was the breakfast sandwich. And I was like, okay.
The egg sandwich. I thought that was one of the things that like kind of, I was like, okay.
I was told that was the best part of the movie. And I was like, if this is the best part.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What am I headed for? For me, it was between that and I actually really enjoyed Huntress. Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. She wasn't in it very much, but I thought she was funny. I liked what she added to me. That's just me, because she was just a freak. She was just like, I didn't know how to be a human, and that got a laugh out of me every once in a while.
Oh, jeez.
We had Chris Messina as Zaz. You know,
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I don't know.
I was about to say Uncut Gems. The Tooth Show with Amy Adams.
Sharp Objects?
Sharp Objects, yeah. The police guy
yeah.
is Zaz in this. Chris Messina, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He was in She Dies Tomorrow as well. As
the
Zaz.
Teeth Show.
Yeah. I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, he's cool. I didn't even recognize him for a while, and then I was like, wait, hold on.
Exactly. However, it's a weird take on Zaz that I know of. I know him from like the Arkham games. he's like a serial killer who every person he kills, he adds a cut on him. And he felt... I expected him to be crazier just from what I've seen of him. I guess it's an okay take. I'm kind of sad that like that's it, but Zaz is like...
Maybe he'll come back to life.
Well, he's not a... right. He's not that big of a villain, so I guess it's fine. I just wish he was in a bit better movie.
Yeah.
I like the casting, though. I like that guy. He's great. What did you think of Cassandra Cain?
Cassandra Cain. That's the
kid. Yeah.
It's fine.
I thought she was kind of annoying.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I think everything is annoying.
Yeah. She definitely got on my nerves. The detective, the policewoman also got on my nerves. Black Canary was fine to me.
She only used the power once.
That was stupid. And they didn't even
Why would you
make
use
a
it
deal out of
once?
it.
Yeah.
Use it a lot.
Like, just do it. Cover your ears.
Works.
Yeah, I guess.
Why'd you do that at the beginning? So the one lady didn't get shot. Like,
I don't know, man.
So you didn't like any of the action? There wasn't one action scene that you were like, oh, that's interesting.
I mean, no, I didn't find anything I was like, oh, yes. There were some that I was like, okay.
Like little sections like, oh, this 5 seconds is like good.
Okay, there's the one part that I liked when Harley Quinn's like hiding behind a bunch of cocaine. And like they're like shooting it or something and the cocaine dust is like flying in the air and then she's like looking at it and then she's like, oh, and then she goes, and then she like goes and beats up all the dudes. I thought that was funny.
I liked a lot of like quite a bit of the scenes. I liked, but I felt a lot of them were actually like underutilized almost. Because you had the scene where Black Canary fights the dudes trying to like kidnap Harley Quinn, right? I liked that scene, but it felt a little underdeveloped. Because you had Harley who was drunk. I was like, oh, they could have done stuff with like a drunk Harley in this scene, but they just decided to have her sit down. I was like, oh, she could have like tripped and, I don't know, something I thought she was going to be in. And when she wasn't, I was disappointed.
Yes.
Her, again, with the cocaine, I expected her to go into like kill mode at that point because she's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason why she shouldn't be killing these people. Cops, I understand, but these were like other criminals. And she does kill one guy at the end. She shoots him in the head, right? And so whatever. But I expected just a little bit more, something different.
Yeah.
However, I will make note, I did notice that they did bother to give Harley Quinn, Huntress, and Black Canary their own styles, if you caught on to that. Black Canary was doing a lot of kicking, stuff like that. Huntress was kind of the most John Wickish. She would like kill people as fast as possible. Like she was just like what's the quickest way to take this person down? And Harley Quinn was obviously Harley Quinn. She did her kind of goofy stuff, and her very acrobatic kind of things.
With her roller skates on.
Yeah. That seems stupid.
When did she put those on?
So I enjoyed the thought that was put into these scenes, even if I thought maybe some of them were underdeveloped a little bit. I didn't like the last fight.
That's the worst of them all.
Because
the last fight sucks.
In the funhouse with like the circling.
Yeah, and it could be cool. It's got a cool setting, but it
needed a little bit more time in the oven.
It's got nothing. And one thing that really bothered me about this scene in particular was you can't like you don't feel any of it. Let me try to elaborate on that.
Sure.
So, for instance, in John Wick, which has great action scenes, you can like feel the punches and you can like feel people going to the ground. In this one, it's like bad guy runs up, Harley Quinn like goes like this, and the bad guy is like does like 30 flips and like falls over a thing and then hits the ground. He's like, oh.
That's not what would happen.
And that just happens like all the time.
Especially when it's like these like 300-pound dudes.
Yeah, these like big guys, and then Harley Quinn's like, and they're like,
she's like 120 pounds, and they're just like freaking out. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. But it's like, if they went the Atomic Blonde, route, because I know that Atomic Blonde people they're related to the John Wick people who are related to this. I think the guy who directed Atomic Blonde and the guy who directed John Wick made like a stunts like business.
Okay, yeah.
And that stunts business did this movie.
Must have been the interns.
I don't know about that.
I'm sorry.
That's mean because we try to always be nice to our stunt people.
I know we love everything that stunt people do for movies.
Yes, but to have 4 atomic blondes, as in by the end of it they've all got the absolute shit beaten out of them. I could see why they wouldn't want to do that for this film. That makes a little bit of sense to me.
Yeah,
I thought most of it was entertaining enough, at least distracting enough from the movie where Harley Quinn doesn't really seem to grow at all.
She gets to eat the egg sandwich, though, so I would say that's character development.
Yeah, sure. Did you like Bruce?
Bruce.
The hyena?
He got blown up.
I thought it seemed like a thing Harley Quinn would have.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah. There's just something about it that Harley Quinn took a step back, going away from the Joker somehow. Also, he's not in the movie at all, which, good. The Joker. I'm glad for that. Well, but I think we can move on now.
Yes, please.
To Wonder Woman 1984, 2020 from Patty Jenkins. We talked about it on the show a little bit. I
think we had a long conversation about it, if I remember.
I think so, too. My biggest thing with this movie, which I was really confused, is that I'd never seen Wonder Woman 2 through Wonder Woman 1983. So I thought I would miss a lot. But it actually made a lot of sense. What do we say?
You know what's funny?
What?
I actually like this one more than the first one, which seems terrible.
Things are good.
Because everyone...
But they could be better. Or whatever it was.
Because everyone hates the... Like, I think it's consensus that Wonder Woman 1984 is bad. And I agree, it is bad. But if Wonder Woman from 2017 is a 1 out of 10, Wonder Woman 1984 is a 2 out of 10.
So it's 100% better.
Yes.
In
my opinion.
I don't know, man. Are you sure?
Maybe I have to rewatch Wonder Woman.
I think you have to rewatch
2017
Wonder Woman, because the first hour of this film, oh boy, it's not fun to watch. Where she's doing nothing and just being Diana and just being at a museum.
Maybe it's because I like
Pedro Pascal
a lot.
Probably.
Alistair, my son.
We got to talk about it a little bit, even though we did have a discussion. She finds a rock. The rock grants wishes. Her friend is like, I wish I was sexy like Gal Gadot. And then she comes a cheetah. And then Pedro Pascal's like, I want... And Pedro Pascal's like, I wish I was the Rock. And then...
Oh, that's the worst thing. Why would you wish that? Whatever.
And then he becomes the Rock. He doesn't become a rock, but the Rock becomes him. That really could have went south. He said, I wish I was the Rock. And he just turned into a rock. His plans would have been foiled. Like, right then. Anyway, he does that. Now he can grant wishes, but it's a monkey's paw, so... If he grants your wish, he can also take something from you, and he can decide what it is that he takes from you, including the will of other living, breathing creatures. Doesn't make any sense. So he goes on TV, and he says, don't you guys wish something? And then he takes all their life force. And then Diana's like, no, everybody out there, you need to revoke your wishes. You can be the hero. And Pedro Pascal's like, oh, that's so stupid. I would never revoke my wish. Why should they? And then they all revoke their wishes. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to revoke my wish too. And again, they undermine their message at the last act where it's like, we don't need to beat the bad guy. Everybody together can beat him for us. He doesn't have to give up. And then he gives up. They love undermining the ideas of the film in the Wonder Woman movies. They can't stop.
It's their favorite thing.
So she electrocutes the cheetah, but she's okay. And then Chris Pine showed up, but then he disappeared because she renounced her wish. And then the movie is over. And the new Wonder Woman, old Wonder Woman, stops a baby from dying. And then she's like, I'm Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That's the movie. And she can make things invisible. She's got her invisible jet. And she can fly,
kind of.
Even though she never does that in Justice League. Weird. Or use the invisible jet.
But, oh wait, yeah. Wait, she kind of flies in Justice League.
She jumps hard. She's like this at the end of the movie.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
not jumping.
You're right.
That's at least gliding.
Okay.
You know? That's the plot.
I'm done with Wonder Woman 1984.
That seems unfair.
What?
My biggest flaws are there's a scene with Wonder Woman that could be at the very beginning as a hero that should have been cut out. It was pointless. It was just because they knew that she didn't turn into Wonder Woman until like an hour later of this like 2 hour and 20-minute movie.
No, it's like 40. It's like 2 hours and 40
Oh, yeah, it's like 2 hours and
minutes.
40 this one. Cause it was
Which you would
extra
think
long.
is the longest of all of these movies. But all of them, just wait.
You'd think. So she doesn't become Wonder Woman for like an hour and change probably. And then when she does, it's not that interesting because she's lost her powers. So she's like pathetic. And then at the end, the cheetah fight is incomprehensible. It's like the end of Venom. It's just like, what's happening?
That is terrible.
It's dark and it's like, okay. Yeah, those are Cliff Notes versions of this film.
Very cool.
Okay.
Now to the moment that everyone has been waiting for.
Zack Snyder's Justice League 2021, directed
His
by Zack
creative
Snyder.
vision finally fully realized.
How do you feel about this movie?
What can I say? I liked it.
Dude, it was good. Like, what? This movie was, like, pretty good.
I liked it.
It was, like, not really that bad. It was long.
Yeah, is it 4 hours and 2 minutes? Yeah.
Longer than it should have been. It wouldn't have worked. I watched it all in one. You watched it all in one, right?
Yep.
I don't think this would have worked stopping at each part.
No.
This would not. Don't do that. Maybe
Yeah.
stop, like, somewhere near the middle before things really start. Like, maybe when everybody gets together, stop there. After, like, the sewer part.
Could be. Yeah.
And then come back for the rest. That's probably a good stopping point. Otherwise, go through the whole thing. Almost everything is better in this version.
Literally, I can't think of anything that's not better.
I think some of the music is a little...
Isn't it the same?
The music is 100% changed. There's no same piece of music in this. It was completely rescored.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, but, like, it was still okay.
I do remember at, like, the beginning, there's this one song that plays. I think it's even before, like, anyone... You know how, like, the beginning, there's, like, 10 minutes where it's, like, this big, long montage? I think there's a song that plays in there that I liked. Okay. I was, like, when I was seeing it, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool.
It's not that the music itself I didn't like, but a lot of just what was going on screen. I was just
the
like...
use of the music.
Right, the use of the music.
I understand.
Not that it was bad, but it was just... I felt the same. Whenever Wonder Woman showed up, it was this weird throat... singing, you know, or it was her theme.
Yeah.
It was those two options only. I thought it was a little like, okay, it's whatever. When Aquaman goes into the ocean for the first time after saying no to Bruce Wayne,
That was funny.
there's like 3 minutes of Icelandic like folk song being sung. It's like a lady sniffing his sweater and just singing, and I think it was Icelandic, right?
I don't remember. This movie, far more serious.
Oh, dour.
It's
you might
like-
say.
It's crazy.
It's really something that maybe I should have brought up with Man of Steel, but if you want to talk about the strengths of DC over Marvel, is that they can occasionally, at least 2 times in 10 movies, do serious and have it feel actually kind of serious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want to point out, we are not Marvel fanboys here.
Quite the contrary.
We are not. And we are not DC. But obviously, from everything we've been saying, we are not DC fanboys either. We are honestly probably Martin Scorsese camp. Anyway.
No, we're Godzilla fanboys. If there's a cinematic universe that we stan, it's Godzilla collectively. For me,
The legendary, the new King Kong Godzilla one. Yeah.
For me, personally, it's Fast and Furious. But you haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So that's not fair yet. But once you see it, you'll be on the train. I know it.
I'm sure I will.
Anyway.
But they can do serious. Civil War. Yeah, Civil War. That's the one where it's like the Sokovia Accords and stuff. Made me laugh. I was like, this shit's laughable. Who cares that 50,000 people died? What? When have you ever cared in the past? Like New York, like got like half this, like people were dying all over. It's like, it was just like, this is silly. Because they were like quipping and then they were like 50,000 billion people died. And then Iron Man's like, should have dodged. I don't know. But, you know,
They should have done.
they really can't help
Still
themselves
get it.
from breaking the tension. And so that made Civil War, like, stupid to me. because it was all
okay.
And kind of the same with Endgame, even though obviously a lot of people were gone, so it worked a little bit better. But it still wasn't that effective for me, of everyone being like, oh, I'm eating expired peanut butter and my name's
Infinity
Black
War
Widow.
does a good job.
Infinity War does a better job, only because it's so, like, shocking, I guess. Anyway,
Zack Snyder's vision.
it's strong in that it can do serious things. The end of the world at this, I was like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
This is the end of the world, right? Maybe let's not skip that far ahead yet, but just to say that. We are introduced to 2 new characters in this, The Flash and Cyborg, who are not in the original
not in the
Justice League.
first Justice League.
But they actually have plots now. I don't remember anything with his dad, The Flash, in the original, but it's here now.
Yeah.
And Cyborg, here's the thing.
Cyborg gets like the most.
Everyone was saying, why would you do a Justice League movie when only 2 of your characters had origin movies? Superman, who's barely in it, and Wonder Woman. They're the only 2 that had their movies. Yeah, because it was before Aquaman. And they're like, that's so stupid. This movie could have worked if they had something for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash. But this could have been Cyborg's introduction, because he's like integral to the plot.
Yeah, he's like the main player.
So if this was his introduction, it would be perfect. Mm-hmm. They didn't need to have a Cyborg movie. This could have been it, and it would have worked perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it's like half these characters we don't even know still to today, like, it's like ridiculous. I just have to say that Cyborg could have been the new character because he got his like power from the mother box and stuff. It would have made sense. They just need to clue in Flash and Aquaman a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
To me, you know.
But Cyborg really is like the heart of the movie. I mean, like in Justice League, you get nothing. And in this, you get this whole backstory with him and his father. And he gets like ridiculous amount of screen time, just like, you know, diving into this character and, you know, his father sacrificing himself near the end which at first I thought was stupid. I was like, why would he do that? Mm-hmm. But then you find out that he like marked the box or whatever, which was cool.
Yeah. He was too smart to do something that dumb, you know?
Yeah.
It's not Pa Kent.
He's not Pa Kent. You know, and then he downloads he hacks into the mainframe.
Yeah. I'm hacking in. He goes, so you have his whole thing, and his character makes sense and has a story now. Blah, blah, blah. And then in the middle of the movie, you have Martha and Lois Lane meeting up to talk about Superman, and she goes, everywhere I look, everywhere I go, I see his face. Yes. He says, I see his S. I see the stupid S.
Yeah.
And then there's like, oh, nice talk. And she leaves. And it's Martian Manhunter.
Yes. What?
Like, what? You cut that out of the movie? Like, that's... What?
Yeah, just like Transform. I was like, wait, what is going on?
I was so... It was a pretty big moment to be like, holy shit, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
but it also
huge.
made me angry because I was like, did I forget? Was Martian Manhunter in Justice League? He was not, unless I'm really forgetting. But it was a pretty big moment. Obviously, he just shows up for there and the end. Mm-hmm. He's not anywhere else, which, fine, whatever. I'm not too mad about that. That would be like considerable reshoots if they added him to like the ending fight. Yeah. But it's setting up, you know, the universe, which isn't going to happen anymore? Question mark.
Don't know.
It's very strange.
What the deal is?
We have no idea what's going on.
Because I don't know. Because as far as I know, this movie is not official canon. But also, as far as I know, this movie. Why'd that make you really mad?
Because it's good.
I know. But also, as far as I know, the reception of this film has been very positive.
Yeah, yeah.
As it should be.
It's good.
So, will they be like, oh, people like this? Mm-hmm. Let's just make it.
And as far as I know, Zack Snyder's, he's not cut ties, but he has no plans to do anything with the DC right now.
Yeah.
That could change very well with the reception of this.
I don't know.
You know what's funny? I saw reviews for the Zack Snyder's Justice League where it was like, Justice League's Zack Snyder's cut is far superior to the original, but it still has, you know, these problems. Then they were like 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 5, right? And then you went to their original review and they gave it like a 3 out of 5. And it's like, it's far superior, but you give it a point less than you did the original.
What the heck?
Very stupid things. Anyway, like we said, the tone was a lot more serious, and I think it paid off for a lot of it.
Yeah.
The whole resurrecting Superman scene made sense.
I don't even remember, what did they even do in the original?
They just electrocuted the box, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna like resuscitate him." They're like, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
It's literally, the scenes were nonsensical. Obviously, it was half as long. But he comes back, and he's still evil. You know, they still have a fight. I think it was a little bit longer. They still have the cool part where he sees the Flash, and Flash is like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
that's a very nice scene. It's honestly one of my top moments in like any superhero.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty badass.
It's a great moment. Lois Lane still comes out. They fly off together, and then we actually get some more scenes of them at the farm, like him coming back to himself. Because in the original, it was like they came down and she was like, "You need to go," and he was like, "Okay," and he left. But now he's like, "Oh, I used to love this place. Oh, my parents. Oh, everything," and it's actually time to let things, you know, settle a little bit and see what he's up to. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What then? Steppenwolf, new Steppenwolf.
You don't think he looks friggin' sweet?
He looks better, but I don't think he's sweet.
What do you
it
mean?
was really cool
really
when
cool.
he got shot with the arrows and he went, "Ugh," and they all flexed off.
Yeah,
that was really
sweet.
cool. That kind of was like, okay, I'll put up with the suit because it did that one thing.
The suit's cool because it's like always like moving and it's like going
Yeah.
like ching ching all the time.
I thought it was, I don't know. I wasn't blown away by it.
That
I
was
just,
cool.
it's
I
fine.
thought a lot of the visuals were really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I still think Cyborg looked like shit.
Cyborg looks better,
Okay.
but he
maybe.
doesn't look great.
Probably
I will
because
say
the
that.
colors are a little desaturated. It's not as in your face, so it probably helps hide it a little bit.
But
better.
I'd say like the other things, like even just like the final battle and like the fly enemy dudes.
Parademons.
Yeah, I thought they looked good, a lot better.
Yeah.
And one thing, Darkseid or Darkseid?
Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Did you watch the movie?
Well, I feel like they said both.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, he seems cool. Seems like a big bad villain, kind of like Thanos.
Thanos, yeah.
I have heard from people that he is like really super mega OP.
Yeah.
But I don't know much.
That's funny that you brought that up because that's a change in this movie that I thought was a little weird but still made sense at the end of the day. They showed Darkseid coming the first time to kill Earth. And they showed him being beat by Hercules, Ares, Artemis.
Yeah. By the way,
the
that
King
was
Atlantis.
awesome.
That was
That
very
scene
cool
was
scene,
freaking
yeah.
sweet. I love that.
And he gets beaten by all of them because they all work together and they defeat him.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's not... It's weird because I'd known him to be so strong and I wasn't expecting... Because I think it was Steppenwolf originally. It was Steppenwolf coming back. Maybe I'm crazy. But
I don't know.
It was weird. I guess I just didn't realize how strong Zeus... Because I thought he would have won. Like, honestly, from what I've been told about how strong Darkseid is. Maybe it's because he was, you know, like 20,000 years younger. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he's definitely a threat to everybody, you know, at this point.
Seems like it.
And Superman and everybody else would probably lose against Ares and Zeus and all of them back in the day. They'd probably lose. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a cool new, you know, exposition.
Mm-hmm.
That's understand things. The mother boxes we get introduced to, they make sense. It's like, oh, they are changed. They aren't necessarily good or bad. They just change things, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
His whole plan is, now we know, is the anti-life something.
Yes.
Still unclear what it does. That's fine. It's not the plot of this one. It's like an Infinity Stone,
Yeah.
right? It's just like, it's a thing. You'll worry about it later.
Maybe. In this case,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
But we also had Desad, yeah.
Desad, yeah.
Desad, okay. He's another guy. Seems like he's another lackey. And there was this old lady there too.
Yeah, the lady. I was like, who is that? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that's about. I'm not comic booky enough for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's somebody important.
Probably villain in a future movie, possibly.
Darkseid. He's not the most threatening looking to me. He kind of looks like, person you might kill in like God of War 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. You don't look crazy.
But he definitely has potential to be something truly threatening when we see what he does. Let's talk about the actual ending, the actual climax, them going to the place and fighting. I think that the more I think about it, you're right. That did look better.
Mm-hmm.
The actual final thing is Barry's running a big circle. He's got to like break light speed, I think, to charge Cyborg because he needs to hack into the cubes to get them to unfuse. Because once they fuse, it's going to cleanse the world with fire and everything's going to die, right? So he's like, no. Barry gets shot.
Gets sniped.
He falls. Cyborg's like, Barry, where the fuck are you? The cubes fuse. The portal opens.
Yeah, it happens.
And the world starts cleansed with fire, and Barry's looking at it coming towards him, and he's like, oh, we lost. Okay, well,
yeah.
I have to run so fast that I run faster than time, basically, is the idea.
Yeah, it's like you run faster than light speed.
So much faster than light speed that it reverses time. So he's running faster than light speeds toward the flaming fire, death, destruction. Sweet. And it's really cool that like the land is forming under his feet. I saw people complain about how Flash runs, but I guess that's a personal preference thing.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't do like a run. He does like
he's like
out forward in front of his arms.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of gives him like a propulsion-y, I don't know, maybe. It is a little goofy, but
I think the one thing is I think there's too much lightning.
There's a lot of lightning.
Maybe if just tone down the lightning a little bit, but whatever.
So he runs towards the center. He is turning back time very slowly, and he gets a Cyborg. He taps him, and now time is at the point right before it fused, and he's able to go in, and Cyborg has to... I actually really like the line where he sees his dead family, and he sees the old version of his human self, and they're like, you don't have to be alone anymore, we can fix everything, and everything can go back to normal.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not broken.
Yeah.
And I'm not alone. That's like, he versus him. I was like, wow, that's a great
character development. Whoa,
that's awesome. And then he does it, and then the cubes and Steppenwolf's like, what the fuck? And Superman's there, and he's like, okay, I'm about to lay the beat down, and lay the beat down. They do. Another change that I love is it's not just Superman. Everybody's getting a turn, beating the shit out of Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
It ends. Steppenwolf's just like, what? He's got like his horn knocked off or whatever.
Yeah, Superman cuts it off with his laser eyes.
Aquaman stabs him through the chest with his trident.
Yes.
Like throws him towards Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman cuts his head off.
Yes.
And then he goes through the portal and Darkseid like stomps on his head.
Yeah.
He's like pathetic or whatever. No, he doesn't say anything, but he feels it.
Yeah.
And the portal closed and they're like, see ya. And they did it. They saved the world and everyone's like, wow. Oh, and also Superman's got a cool black suit now.
Yeah, I like that. I remember he's like walking through the thing and like all the different suits are coming out. And I was like, please pick a cool one.
Yeah.
And the black and silver one is cool, but there were some other ones that I saw where I was like, he should put that one.
One was like his dad's, I think, or something like that.
Some looked like real kind of.
One might have been Zod's too.
Yeah, they were cool looking.
Yeah, but he just wore the black suit. That's fine.
Black one's cool.
I think that's like the comic book thing. It's like the black suit.
Okay.
And they save the day, and it's like, wow, great. And then there's an epilogue.
Epilogue.
Before we get into that, because that's most of the new footage is in the epilogue. This is still too long. There can still be a Snyder Cut diet, like a Snyder Cut light. You know
diet
what I mean?
Snyder Cut,
where it's like 3 hours long, and we don't have 50 slow-mo shots of Lois Lane walking towards Superman's grave.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit much. But still, epilogue, we get, if we want to talk about the nightmare scene, the big thing that was in all the trailers and stuff, we have Batman in like the middle of the desert. Cyborg's there, Flash is there, Mira is there.
Flash looks sweet in this,
he's got
by the
like
way.
armor.
Yeah, he's got like
real
big
armor,
armor, like helmet thing. Sweet looking.
Deathstroke is there. And the Joker is there. No,
not this version though.
it's Jared Leto.
Well, yeah, but
he's not tattoos.
He just has
got,
white and red
and green hair.
Yeah.
We learn that Aquaman's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman is also dead. So Mira's there in his stead. Okay.
How long were you cooking that one up?
No, just now. It was an accident.
Okay.
And obviously Deathstroke's a bad guy, but he's there now. Doesn't say anything, but he's around. And he talks to Joker, and Harley's dead as well. He talks to Joker, and Joker's like, this shit's fucked. You're a piece of crap. You're a bad person, and you're the reason this all happened. And Batman's like, I'm going to kill you. And Joker's like, I'm counting on it. I hope so. And, and then he wakes up, and it's a dream. He's like, oh. And the Martian Manhunter comes down and is like, oh, we'll talk later.
I want to save Earth.
Yeah. It's like the war has just begun, basically. Jared Leto's Joker in this movie. Better? Is it good?
His laugh is still like, what is he doing with the laugh?
Well, in this one, his laugh at least seemed like fake. Well, like in this one, it's like, at least in the context of this, it seems like he was trying to laugh. Like, it's like, oh, I used to laugh. He's like in the old days, he'd be like, ah, whatever. But now he's like, kind of like, it's almost like a nostalgic, like, ah. That's what I got from it, you know? He's like, oh, I have to laugh because I'm the Joker.
But he didn't say that we live in a society, which is in the trailer. I was so mad. I was waiting for that moment the whole movie.
Dick slip.
Yeah, what the... Zack Snyder, I like your movie, but why didn't he say that we live in a society?
He did it just for the meme, so for all the free publicity, and you know what? It worked. It worked.
You got me, damn it.
You got us all. Was this movie R-rated?
That was going to be one of the points I brought up. This movie is rated R.
They say the F word twice.
3.
3. What's the one I'm missing?
I remember counting, and I remember counting 3. I don't really remember when they happen or what they say.
I only remember 1, and it's when Cyborg goes, fuck the world.
Yep, that's one of them.
That's the only one I actually remember. But I remember counting 2. I must not have been paying attention.
There's a fucking.
Oh, there is a fucking. It's like, I'll fucking kill you or something. Oh, is that Batman at the end? Does he say, I'm going to fucking kill you?
Yeah. And then there's another one earlier before Cyborg says, fuck the world.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a lot of blood in this movie.
Blood. A lot of the scenes, to just point out the big differences, Wonder Woman's scene with the terrorists at the bank, a completely different scene. Because in the Joss Whedon one, the original, it was like kind of happy-go-lucky, like, oh, look, it's Wonder Woman, she's saving the day. And this one's, it's like, I'm going to kill these terrorists in front of these children.
Yeah.
And she does. The only thing was stupid is that she blows up the building anyway with her arms.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Why'd you have to do that? I don't know, that was just a difference that I remember wanting to point out because it was like so stark in tone and everything. But
yeah, lots of blood. People get cut in half and like.
Yeah, lots of blood and stuff. And also, just go back to epilogue. Lois Lane is also dead.
Yes.
Because at the end of the dream sequence,
Superman is very angry.
He found us, and Superman just goes in and he's got red eyes and he's like, yeah, he's like, toss a coin to your Witcher, bitch.
Yeah.
And I do know that is, I'm pretty sure that's how Injustice happens, is that Lois Lane dies and Superman gets really angry.
Yes.
And he starts killing people.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea. Are we done talking about... Okay, we're not done talking about Justice League. So before I make this point, I want to rewind a little bit. The original Justice League 2017, Zack Snyder, if you don't know, stepped down. Did we say that? From principal photography. He finished that, stepped down, and
yes.
Then we said that. The reason he stepped down was because obviously there was a lot of studio meddling, like notes, like do it this way, do this, blah, blah, blah. And also he had a very unfortunate family occurrence where his daughter committed suicide, and it was just too much for him, and he had to step away from the project. Obviously, he had a lot to deal with. And at the end of this movie, right after the movie ends, it's for Autumn, his daughter. And with the whole theme of like specifically Cyborg and like fatherhood and everything, it really got to me. And honestly, Zack Snyder, like, if this like is what helped him, like, he did a great job, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like this and dedicating it to his daughter, like, I was like blown away. I was like, this, you did it, dude.
Yeah, it's really great.
Like Zack Snyder, you did it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I was just very impressed by that. It got me. I know you weren't quite.
I didn't know
quite aware of the situation at the time. You learned recently, but I knew about it, and when I saw it, it really hit me actually, and I found it very affecting. And I hope that he's healed a lot from this, and it's been very helpful for him. It makes me sad seeing the stuff online that happens around this movie and the toxicity of fans and stuff. When I see people being like, "It's a shame this movie happened because of how the fans." Like, people sent, like, death threats about it, and they're like, make this movie or we'll kill your, stuff like that. And I was like, you got to take the good for what it's worth, at this point. It's like, I really feel like you can't lament that. They're like, we can't let people bully movies into being made. That's not how I'm choosing to look at it. But, what can you say except he did it. He did the Snyder Cut.
Nothing like this has ever happened.
It's never happened. Who knows if it'll happen again.
Pretty awesome.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But now I want to talk. Obviously, he had a vision for this extended universe. The end of the movie is pretty dire. The premonition. What is what is their slate? They're making Flash, and then what?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, because this isn't canon.
So it's like, what's happening? I had an idea when I watched the end of this movie that I liked. You know how they're making the Robert Pattinson Batman? They're calling it like Earth 2 or World 2 or whatever. And they're saying there's 2 timelines at the same time.
Yes.
This timeline, all these, what if they just say, you know what? Darkseid wins. Everybody dies, and they escape to Earth 2. And then Darkseid follows them to Robert Pattinson Batman universe. And now it's this universe has to deal with their problems. And, maybe one character, like the Flash, right? Maybe Ezra Miller's character goes to Earth 2, right? There's 2 Flashes, maybe. I don't know. And they say continue. It's like, oh yeah, the first original one, that's dead. Now the new primary DCU is Earth 2, World 2,
Not a terrible idea.
That's the only way I can see of salvaging it. Of being like, we can't use any of the old actors, so whatever.
Wipe the slate.
Ben Affleck's done. He's going to be in Flash, but that's it, I'm pretty sure. I could see that working. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'd be down.
If they want to save it, I gave it to you. It's free. Please use it.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know, but
I don't know. Just notes for the future. Just make your movies like Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah. And I think you got something going for you.
I'm glad we didn't tell each other if we liked that movie before the show started. Because this whole time, I was like, what if he hates it? I was like, because I thought it was kind of good. I was ready to die on that hill, though. Just so you know. If you were like, oh, it still sucked, I would have fought you on that. Just so you know.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad too. I'm glad that we didn't have to fight.
Yeah. We usually have similar opinions.
Usually, yeah. So, however, I do have bad news.
Okay.
We still have an hour and 16 minutes to kill.
Okay. Let's make it happen.
So I guess we have to do it with the reviews of the week.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Unless you have any final thoughts on the DCU that you'd like to share.
No.
It's bad, but it could be better.
It could literally. Zack Snyder's Justice League proves the potential of the DCU.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be Marvel either. They don't need to just copy the success. They can be their own thing.
Exactly.
Sorry, I have one more question.
No, say it.
Have you seen any other DC stuff, like the animated anything or any of the other?
I watched one of the movies.
The animated movies?
It was one of the Harley Quinn ones, I think.
Okay.
And I've seen The Killing Joke.
Killing Joke, yeah.
Which was cool. I like that one.
I've seen... My biggest thing is probably Teen Titans. I love Teen Titans. I saw all the original cartoon.
Okay, yes. I didn't know we were counting Teen Titans.
Why not? Cyborg's in it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's cool. I love that. Otherwise, I haven't really delved that much. I've seen episodes of Young Justice here and there.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the shows. No Green Arrow, no Flash.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, the live action definitely not. But the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy show, I'll probably get into that at some point because it's pretty good so far. All right, good.
Cool.
Now for the reviews of the week.
You go first.
Okay, 1 out of 10. I see why 13 to 17-year-old girls are the group that love this the most. If you're any older than that, the plot holes and the thinly disguised feminist messages overwhelm the story. Suicide Squad had its issues, but overall, it was a fun, enjoyable movie with characters I rooted for. This film manages to tear down what was really great about the reimagining of the Joker and Harley in that movie and turn Harley into yet another bitter single woman with anger issues. I can see that at the supermarket, and it won't cost me $8.
What? That's Birds of Prey.
That's Birds of Prey review. And for once, it's a bad review that I kind of agree with.
That's funny. That's funny because I have like a little double one here.
Okay.
But they have similar themes.
Gotcha.
1 out of 10. Way too much. But they spelled 2 TWO.
Okay. Is it a play on words or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, come on. I am all for female rights and all. But this is too with the W. Too much feminist. Usually at the end of Disney films, I feel like crying. After this one, I feel like taking a huge dump. But it can't be bigger than this cartoon.
What?
And then this person likes to say, another stupid feminine garbage with great visuals. Stupid dialogue, feminine garbage, and mostly awful to watch. No Raya song like the rest of the Disney movies. I hate feminine movies. But Tangled is far better than this movie.
Okay.
Waste of time.
Yeah. Just those two?
Just those.
They're
two.
both for Raya and the
for Raya
and the whatever dragon.
And the last dragon.
Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi.
Wow. Well, yeah, similar, kind of themes going on there. I mean, really, you guys, you can count on it. It's if there's ever a movie with a woman,
the misogynist will be there.
No, what's the test? There's a test that I saw where it's they say if the movie needs to have more than one woman and the two women need to talk to each other about something other than a man. And that's like the test of it, if it's like good representation or not.
Okay.
It's like, is there more than one woman? Do they talk about something other than a man? Well, then you're probably doing okay.
I like that.
But yeah. Okay, reviews of the week. Well, we can move on from there.
I know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time for the emails. Did you know, Zack Snyder, did you know, if you're listening, that you can email us, the two of us, we just praised your movie.
Yeah.
One of them. We
destroyed.
We didn't like the other ones, but this new one, we praised it. Yeah. You can email us at thestaglerpod@gmail.com. You can do that.
That is true. However, there is something we overlooked about the movie that we didn't really get into. We did mention it, but the aspect ratio.
4:3, just like this podcast. Just kidding.
Not at all. What'd you think?
It didn't do anything for me, but it didn't take away anything either. I was just like, yeah, okay.
I think it did a lot for me.
Really?
There was something about it where it felt very, I was like, it gave it a certain verticality to it, as opposed to the widescreen, that it just felt really new to me. It helped the cut feel very fresh, and I actually really enjoyed it.
It did feel like it was supposed to be like that, because I tried throughout thinking about what the widescreen would look like, and I'd be like, I don't know.
Also, I think it's like, we didn't change it because it's Zack Snyder's intention for it to be 4:3, but it's also his intention for it to have been seen in a theater. So, give and take what you can.
Yeah, you know how it is.
But it's email time. Enough about that.
Yeah.
Hello, Justin and Nick. I'm sure you two are aware that Avatar, the Blue Alien Cat People one, just retook the #1 selling movie back from Endgame.
Ridiculous.
Because it re-released in China.
Just kidding. Who cares?
Now, ignoring the fact that it's just a cash grab, it also irks me that Avatar is indeed the highest selling movie. Visually, it was.
Does it?
Visually, it wasn't still as stunning, but story-wise, it's just space Pocahontas. Can you think of other movies that are not nearly as good as their box office?
Oh, pick me. Pick me. Pick me. Pick me. Pick me.
Nick.
Oh, okay, I got it. Avengers Endgame.
Oh, pick me. Pick me.
Okay. Yeah.
Every superhero movie.
Oh.
That's my hot take for the day. Every superhero movie is not as good as its box office. Who cares
that Avatar passed Avengers Endgame? They both suck, and that's that.
You're not excited for Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5? Oh, jeez.
I hope Avatar 2 is great.
It'll blow my socks off, I bet.
Whew,
Other than
was
that,
funny.
as good as the box office, or even fans say they are. So movie that even fans say.
Joker.
Joker is another one that's not.
It's just not as good as people say.
Not as good as people say. It's not that it's bad.
It's fine.
It's just not as good as people say. Overrated, you know.
Let's try. I'm trying to think of something that's not a
superhero related, because that's all the ones that you kind of go to. Well, you think of franchises, really, don't you? It's like franchises, kind of where my mind goes to.
Yeah.
You know? I personally didn't like Men in Black 3 very much, but it was pretty well received.
I don't really remember 3. That's the time travel one, right?
Yeah.
I don't really remember it. I can't say much.
I didn't really.
Didn't have a big box office.
Maybe. It's Men in Black, so probably, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I wish I knew.
Can I do the opposite? Can I do a movie that doesn't reflect its box office, but the opposite, like it's really great, but it didn't make a lot of money?
Yes.
Blade Runner 2049.
That is a big one, isn't it? Because that movie was like
bombed
insane.
at the box office.
Crazy to me.
But is a masterpiece. Hello?
I don't get that.
I know.
It seemed like it had the stuff to make it, be a big deal.
Everyone, I don't even understand. I don't understand because everyone knows what Blade Runner is. And everyone was like, oh, wow, a second Blade Runner? That's crazy. And then it came out and no one saw it.
That better not happen.
Except for me. I saw it. Denis Villeneuve, if you're watching, I went and I saw your movie in the XD theater all by myself, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like most franchises probably would fall into this.
Not Harry Potter.
Sure. Not Harry Potter, sure. I'm sure some of them, like, what's the worst one?
Chamber of Secrets.
That's my favorite.
No, it's not.
I love Chamber of Secrets.
It's not your favorite.
That's my favorite.
Stop talking. It's not your favorite.
But it probably is the worst.
Is that really your favorite? You're lying.
No, Chamber of Secrets is my favorite, but I think that's why I like it. It's because it's the worst. It's just got a charm because it's like...
Hold on a second. Chamber of Secrets is really your favorite Harry Potter movie.
Probably.
Over Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes.
Over the last one.
Yes.
Okay. Those are like the two best in my opinion.
And then my second favorite is probably Goblet of Fire. That's not true. My second favorite is probably the last one, actually. Third is probably the first one. Fourth, Goblet of Fire?
Where is Prisoner of Azkaban, directed by the great Alfonso Cuarón at?
Fifth?
What? You need to watch that movie again.
No, I definitely do.
Mad tripping.
I definitely do. Anyway, that's good. I'm good for
Yeah,
that.
we're like way on a tangent here. Sorry.
We're getting out of here.
Thank you for the question.
One more. We live in a society that is divided. Us versus them, Republicans versus Democrat, Marvel versus DC, Godzilla versus King Kong. I think it's making us lose sight of the real questions that need to be asked. If you were a sandwich, what kind would you be? Thanks for the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for the question.
What kind of sandwich would I be?
And we have to make this last, remember, an hour and 7 minutes.
All right. Let's really think about it. How many cheeses are there? We need to look through all the different kinds of cheeses.
Get up a list of cheese and just start reading it.
All right, here we go. All different kinds of cheeses.
I can think of at least like 4.
Cheese.com.
Thank you, cheese.com.
This sounds great.
This is, whoa.
Alphabetical.
Over 1,833.
Here we go.
I don't know if you can handle this, but let's go for it.
Abaye de Belloc. Abaye de Belval. Abaye de Citeaux. Abaye de Timadou. Abaye du Mont des Cats.
Abaye de Pepper Jack. Abaye de American cheese.
Hey.
No, we're done. We're done with this. Guys, if I was a sandwich...
Acorn?
That's not a cheese. That's a nut. If I was a sandwich, I would be a Debbie Harry. Do you guys know what a Debbie Harry is? Let me tell you.
What about Ashley cheese?
Debbie Harry is you take sourdough bread, okay, and you always want to make your own. You don't want to eat somebody else's sourdough. You toast it lightly, and then you do coleslaw, and then you do pastrami, and then you do pepper jack cheese.
Is that a little Caloria?
And then you do a fried egg, and then you do apple butter on the final piece, and you slap it down. And it's really important that you smush the sandwich down on your plate so it's like flattened, and then you have to cut it diagonally, and you'll probably serve it, with like potato chips and a pickle spear, and you have a Debbie Harry, and that's what I would be.
Wow. Do I need to go piece by piece, or
if it's? I mean, I just felt like people didn't know what a Debbie Harry was, so I explained it.
And it's a sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't say hot dog, because they're not sandwiches. I don't care what people say.
Let me think about this. I think that I might be a dead Irishman.
What's that?
For those that don't know what a dead Irishman is.
It has egg on it too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
So it's all... I don't remember exactly what kinds of meat are on it. I know there's salami, and there's probably pepperoni and ham, I think. I think that might be the trio.
Yeah.
And then it's got an egg on it. And then it's got coleslaw on it. Yeah, I know.
Weird, because it's like
crazy.
my sandwich.
And then freaking... It's got like this special like Italiano sauce on it.
Okay.
I think it might have like pickles or something. Maybe onions.
Like a relish or something?
I don't even know. Why don't I just... Here.
Yeah, you just look it up. Can't look up the Debbie Harry, sadly, because you'll just get the singer from Blondie. I don't even see it.
Here it is.
Okay.
Let me find it here real
Download
quick.
that PDF real quick.
Yep. Working on
menu.
it. Soups and salads. Daily specials, appetizers, sandwiches. Should be right there.
Here we go.
There it is. Dead Irishman. Ham. Salami. Swiss cheese, which, by the way, I hate Swiss cheese.
Yeah?
It's terrible. So I alternate or switch the cheese out for something else. And pick a cheese, any cheese. Pick Ashley cheese.
Sure, Ashley.
Put it on there. An over easy egg. Coleslaw. Oh, yeah. French fries. And bistro sauce served on Italian bread. That's the Dead Irishman.
Cool. It's kind of similar. Not really, but sort of. It's both got coleslaw and egg, which is kind of a weird coincidence.
But not French fries.
Mine has apple butter.
That sounds cool.
It's like the sweetness. You'd think it wouldn't work, but with the gooiness of the egg yolk. Because when you cook the egg, you want it to be a little bit gooey. Not like crazy. But
yeah.
A little bit of goo. It's really dang good. Now, here's the real question.
Okay.
What kind of sandwich would Batman be?
A hot dog.
Okay, should we do the others? Aquaman's a filet of fish. Okay.
That's easy.
Superman's like a hamburger.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All American.
Yeah. No, wouldn't Barry the Flash be a hot dog?
No. He's a sloppy Joe.
Oh, I see Batman as more of like a piece of bologna just taken out of the package, eaten over like the kitchen sink.
I know.
And then Cyborg.
And Wonder Woman.
We did. Wait.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. My bad.
Okay,
I did it in my head, and I decided not to say it.
Cyborg is... is there some sort of funny computer joke we can make here? He's a motherboard.
I don't know, but whatever it is, he'd take a bite out of it.
A bite?
A bite.
Oh, okay, good one. I don't know for Cyborg.
Me neither.
Maybe like a meatball sub.
Oh, that sounds good, actually. I think meatball sub works.
Seems like a meatball sub kind of guy. All right, Wonder Woman. She's definitely a ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, piled up like
yeah,
a lot, right?
A big ham and cheese
and it's
sandwich.
like sweet bread on top and bottom,
Yeah.
like some kind of
like Hawaiian
roll almost.
Hawaiian rolls, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we got it down like pretty good.
That sounds good.
Batman, piece of bologna eaten over the sink. like that's it, right? That's it.
Literally.
No way. Unless Alfred, gets him some, frou-frou thing.
Creme brulee.
That's probably why he does it, because he's tired of Alfred's like super fancy food. He's just like, sometimes a man and a kitchen sink just need to be.
Yeah, dude,
What did you think of Alfred? I think he's great.
Yeah, he's cool.
I don't think there's been an Alfred that I've disliked.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I agree.
But
Great question.
yeah, fantastic question. I think we took the extra mile, and I hope you got your money's worth of the $0 it cost you.
Yeah.
And it costs you $0 to listen and share the show with all you love.
It also costs $0 to email us.
Yeah.
So like, do that.
Feel free. Or Twitter. I got a Twitter message. Start the show off with it.
Yeah.
Gets on the show. Gets on the show.
Yeah. We have an hour to go. One more hour.
Okay, so I guess over the next hour, basically, I'm going to tell you guys about what we're going to do next episode for our spotlight.
Okay.
So do you guys like animals? Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? Do you like horses? Do you like bears? Do you like Bunsen burners? I ran out of animals.
Elephants, tigers, lions, parakeets,
cheetahs,
toucans,
we're going too
penguins,
fast. We're gonna run out.
Seals, whales, beluga whale, humpback whale, killer whale,
sperm whale, snakes. Do you like snakes?
Diamondback,
Hippos.
black mamba,
hippos.
Did you know
alligators, crocodiles?
that the hippopotamus is the most deadly animal on the planet?
I buy it. Praying
It's
mantis,
because people don't think they're that dangerous.
spider
So they get in the water with them, and they don't realize that a hippo
will kill you very easily.
Can literally chomp a car in half.
Yeah, they got maws.
They have ridiculously strong jaws. They will destroy you. You will be like this, and then a hippo will bite you, and you'll be like that.
Yeah, they take out like crocodiles and stuff. They just snatch them up, and they're like done.
Yeah.
They bad.
But shark.
Maybe, right. Maybe you like dogs. We like dogs.
Who doesn't? Only idiots,
Only
right?
Idiots don't like dogs. We're going to talk about 100 of our favorite movie dogs. What a great idea. We're going to talk about 100 or so. Maybe we'll talk about 10-ish or 15-ish.
As many as we want.
Maybe 100 if we come up with that many. But famous movie dogs that we think either maybe they have a good performance, maybe it's like how'd they get the dog to do that, maybe it's just a funny dog that has a lot of personality, like Beethoven or something.
Yeah.
It's just any kind of dog that comes to mind. We'll just talk about and we'll discuss. And you guys maybe send in some of your favorite dogs.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Send in your favorite dogs.
If maybe there's a lesser known dog that we might not know of.
Tweet us pictures of your dogs.
Or that too, yeah.
That'd
Show
be
us
cute.
the pups. Maybe your dog will be our favorite dog.
Yeah, could be.
Could very well be. Sadly, we cannot make it to 4 hours.
I think we can.
I don't think we can. But
What if you just play the outro song for an hour?
see, I could do that, but I don't think I will. Okay. Why don't you all? I have a mission for all of you. When this show is over, just sit in silence for an hour and contemplate.
There we go. Think about it.
Just think about it for a while. But
it's what Zack Snyder would have wanted.
It's what he would have wanted. But we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Me too.
It was a lot better than I thought it would be. Talking about movies I don't like very much. But it ended on a good note. High-spirited. So until then, I've been
Roof.
Okay. Well, bye, everybody.
I'm Nick.